Welcome back to Rush of Madness. This is session 11 entitled Titan's Grave. Last session, they came upon a Titan's Grave. The way they came upon it is they traveled underneath the town that they live in, fully and wholly, from one end to the other, and ended up coming out in a quarry slash water cistern. And they've come out and they see a massive old skeleton lying on the ground in kind of a pit between them and their what they're going for, the Lykoi Manor. They're looking at the back end of that manor, um, which sits in Edinburgh, which is where they've also been trying to infiltrate, and it seems they've succeeded. That said, yeah, it's massive. It's fucking massive. You take a long rest in the skull, and if I remember correctly from our discussions, you'll be awakening sometime in the middle of the morning, like early hours, like 2-ish. And not because a cat is meowing and trying to wake you up.
I mean, we don't know what the wildlife's out here. Nobody's a ranger.
Sir? So, that said, I know there were some people who had points of interest in the Discord and also in just conversation, so I do want to let those kind of fly by before we move into the watch being over, etc. So if you have any questions, go
I
ahead.
think we actually end our long rest in the middle of the night because I have
Yeah.
mid-afternoon, early evening long rest, start, finished at night.
Yeah, so it's like middle of the night is what I was trying to say.
Okay.
Two might
so
be
like
too
early,
late.
early morning.
Yeah, 1-ish, 2-ish is what I was saying.
Okay,
But
okay.
it's probably closer to midnight in all honesty. Because you went to bed at like 4, so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a long trip, man. Sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're not like proceeding to the barrow, right? Like our goal here was to establish if there was like a traversable path.
So what I'll note is a couple of things that weren't present at late afternoon, evening, dusk time. As the sun starts to set, you do see that there are a number of fireflies that start appearing. These are very uncommon to what most of you would be used to regarding fireflies. Some of them glow like a very pale orange or kind of like a deep kind of yellow, but there are more still that seem to flash red, like a bloody.
Like they look more like embers.
Yeah, it's almost like they kind of have like a blood red tinge to them.
Can I mage hand one of them?
I mean, yeah, I guess so, but I don't think Mage Hand's delicate enough in its essence to kind of capture it alive.
Reach, crunch.
Typically, you catch a firefly with 2 hands. You don't
poke it.
You don't
Poke it
grab
with the mage hand.
Yeah, if you poke it, it'll fly away. Do that lazy kind of listing thing that fireflies are wont to do.
I shatter the group of fireflies. How many do I capture?
All of them. They're all dead.
Okay, yeah.
Fireflies don't exist in my campaign setting anymore. I'm going to go ahead and write that in the lore dump.
Oh, no.
Oh, damn. On a scroll of genocide.
Ruthless.
Well, I got dark real quick.
Classic Joe.
I don't actually shatter the fire.
Nope,
No,
it's
I
too
know.
late. Said it.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I get you. But go ahead.
Is there any indication as to what caused this giant hole in this thing's head?
Nope.
Fascinating.
You would note that it does look like it has very large bolts of iron that have been made into a suit of chain that have rusted and kind of broken away. But despite the apparent age of the thing, some of the iron still holds its kind of dark metallic sheen.
I can just smell that.
Yeah. The whole thing definitely smells like rust.
Rust and rotting iron. My nostrils burn. Just
That's
thinking
metal.
about it.
That's
yeah,
metal.
it is metal.
Literally.
Metal as fuck.
well, we established there's a chest up there. And instead of taking the obvious route, Clint is just going to climb up the rocks.
Well, quick addendum.
But there's
So
a chest right here.
inside of the skull, there is a chest, and there's also a fire pit. The fire pit's closer to the back, so it looks like the hole in the skull would act as a kind of flue or escape for the smoke if you were to light a fire in that space.
Oh, so someone camped here before.
Yeah, and when you open up the chest, which is unlocked, just kind of latched, inside there are a number of warm blankets, kind of wool, and kind of lined with cotton. Um, 4 of them.
I'm sorry. Is that a chest in the skull?
Yeah, the chest in the skull. It's in the eye area.
Oh, okay. I was referring to this chest up here.
Yeah, I know. I'm all
Oh, okay. So, okay, that's interesting. So clearly this is apparently used regularly. Clint goes ahead and distributes the blankets. I'm assuming before we take our long rest.
Yeah, that's already over. So
Okay.
you wouldn't have done anything active during your downtime. So it's the middle of the night, and the fireflies are out and about in the midst. The moon is high in the sky.
What the fuck would these be used regularly for? That's weird, man.
What, the
Yeah.
blankets? What would
Layers.
the blankets? You mean?
Oh, hold on.
Well, there's a little guidepost right here.
Sure.
So this is obviously like a well-traveled area.
Yep.
Or
at least it was. The sign definitely looked like it was stated. It doesn't look like it's not. It doesn't look like it was posted recently. It looks like it's been there for a long time.
Okay. Are there any signs of recent travel, like any footprints that are not ours, anything like that?
You can make a survival roll if you'd like.
Ten.
It's definitely trafficked, but whether or not any are recent, like relatively so, you can't be certain. Definitely, there's been movement through here. Quite a bit of movement in the last month to a year.
Well, now I'd like to get up on the rocks and check out that chest.
Okay. So you're climbing up the rocks and then just kind of moving over to it?
Yeah, sort of going like
That's fine.
going that way and then that way.
Yep, it's locked.
Okay. These tools. Actually, first check for traps.
It's fine. You can go ahead and roll with these tools.
The thieves tools or the investigation?
Thieves tools.
Okay. $15.
Doesn't seem to be within your capability. You'll actually lose 2 picks on that attempt.
Ooh, damn. Okay.
So remember what I said. If you fail by 1 through 4, it's 1 pick. If you fail by more than 4, it's 2 picks.
Okay. And what's like the total charges on thieves tools?
10.
Okay. So I think I'm currently at 7.
Uh-huh.
Can I take another stab at it?
Yeah, you can keep going all day.
Okay.
John drinking mixed drinks when it's not cyberpunk is making me nervous. I don't know about anybody else.
So that's funny. This is what's known as a Godfather. It's amaretto and whiskey.
Yeah, it's a mixed drink that's just 2 liquors mixed together. I'm even more nervous now. What are you
Yeah.
trying to say?
Oh no, it's
Does
got
anybody
it's got
have
bitters. It's got
inspiration?
bitters. That's not gonna work unless someone
Let's
spends
be
inspiration
careful.
for it.
That's what I'm saying. If anybody has inspiration.
Nobody has inspiration. We
Oh,
went over this
wait.
last session.
I got inspiration.
Do you want to
I'll
use it
do
for this?
Chad's gonna die.
No, I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, that'll be 2 more picks.
It's been
Okay.
a while since I got inspiration.
I'm going to take one more stab at it, and then that's it. Because I'm currently at 5 of 10, and I don't want.
It's a great plan to use all your tools on the treasure chest outside of the house you're trying to break into. I do love that. Go ahead and roll it.
Well, I don't. This is.
You said
this
you're doing
is
it.
probably the hardest lock I've encountered.
Oh yeah, it's very, very ornate on the interior. Like you're
If I was to give him the, as I have in my inventory, fish piss potion of advantage,
Mhm.
would that help him on the roll?
it'll give him advantage.
Oh
Yeah.
Bottoms
shit!
up.
I have one of those too.
Oh, all right. Well, use yours.
Yeah, I will use that.
I love you guys pulling of resources. Well,
That's
if I have
right.
to use it on him, and then nah, so you'd have to drink it and then roll.
Right. So let's do that.
Oh
Drink.
boy, I can't wait to see 2 bad rolls. Oh, I didn't even need it this time. Yeah.
Yep. So the lock opens. Upon opening, I will need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
I checked for traps.
There's not a trap.
Oh, interesting.
It's
Okay.
a tarp.
What? Oh, it was a magical trap. That's an 18.
There's no trap. That'll
You
succeed.
you
So
you've taken the mouthpiece out of the mimic, so now it can eat you.
when the chest opens, what you notice is that the mouth of it seems to have an inner lining that causes the top to seal directly beneath the bottom. So like a kind of like a tooth or a mouth kind of closing together. So it's like sealed tight, almost airtight. As you see that and that very little line, all you see is kind of a red line of light, and then boom, a huge fiery explosion out of the box. And out from it comes what appears to be, to your sensibilities, a creature made entirely of fire.
Oh,
fuck.
Curiosity killed the dampier.
Bear with me here.
Well, I guess that means I should probably put myself up here.
You know, we had a long rest. It will be the last long rest for some of you, but
Okay, and I assume you would have been probably pressed back from the chest, so I'm gonna have him be on it. But yeah, the creature's
Either I feel like there.
that's fine. The creature's form immediately starts to kind of solidify. Look like it was kind of in a liquid or fire state. And when it comes out, you see like the face starts to form and kind of solidify with what appears to be rusted iron. Its hands kind of shoot out to the side, and you hear this kind of song of metal kind of flare through it, and then 2 massive scimitars appear in its hand. What you think are eyes, but are more just kind of 2 holes in the iron-looking face, kind of burning, stare directly into your soul. And this is what it looks like when it pops out. And
Cute.
yeah, it definitely doesn't look happy. But it doesn't look like it's just murdering you right away.
apologize.
Everyone else hears a very significant kind of detonation of flame.
Lent is kind of like he has that sort of like ready but not sure what to do stance. And he says in Draconic, "I'm sorry to disturb you."
Okay, you're saying this in common?
Draconic.
Okay. It doesn't seem to understand you. It definitely is still looking like it's very much in a kind of defensive posture, and it starts to glide across the stone, leaving a fiery trail as it moves over to the kind of ledge that you jumped off on. Do you try and engage it? Are you pulling any weapons? It definitely is keeping its blades kind of directed at you.
Can I identify what it is?
You can make an Arcana check.
So 24.
Yeah, it's a fire elemental, and it's what's known as a Myrmidon.
Okay.
Myrmidons are closer in aspect of the elements to what's known as an Archon. So elementals are typically chaotic, but there are motes of order in the elemental chaos, and a Myrmidon is what is effectively created when an Archon kind of signifies this is my servant. Archons being like very orderly beings. On the angels are good and demons are bad. Archons are lawful and yeah, Lots of
Myrmidons are chaotic.
No, myrmidons are lawful. Elementals are chaotic.
Okay. So,
But lots of shit on the elemental spectrum and also on the chaos spectrum is technically on the same tier as angels and devils.
right. Yeah, Glint's gonna, as it moves away, he's gonna go kind of inspect the chest more, see if there's any sort of like arcane writing on it, see if there's any like notes or.
It looks like something blasted inside of it. But yeah, if you don't focus on it, it glides down the stone, and everyone who's kind of looking over in that direction, you see a humanoid-like figure with no legs, more just kind of like a fiery tail, kind of snaking its way across and moving towards the northern pass.
Hello?
Which way's the barrow?
No,
Barrow's
Castia.
to the left, so west.
Okay.
Hello? What?
No, Cassia, we don't hello.
But
What do we know to be in that?
but it might be lost.
Hold on.
I think
That
he knows
wasn't-
exactly where he's going.
If you checked the wooden sign would have given you kind of an idea of what road split off from it. The road to the southwest would have said End Barrow, or Sepulchre's Barrow, rather. Sorry. The path to the right would have said Whitestone Quarry. The path to the south would have said Farm, and the path to the north says Waygate.
I'm sorry, you said the path to the north said farm?
Path to the north says Waygate.
Oh, Waygate. And you said that the chest was empty except for like the burn marks and stuff.
It was containing a whole ass medium-sized creature, yeah.
Well, that sucks.
And if you
I
do
checked
not
for a false bottom.
if you do not interfere with the Myrmidon, it leaves.
That counts as us defeating it, right?
No.
I like your gusto though.
Yeah.
Such a munchkin. Okay, so yeah, the chest is
At
completely
first I was
empty.
like, holy shit! And I was like, wait, it's not attacking me. Do I want to fight this guy?
Looking at,
And he's gone.
looking at the next to it, there are a pair of bags. Inside of the bags, there's one bag that seems to be filled with small sticks. Just a bundle of sticks inside of the bag, like probably a good 10 pounds of sticks. And then the other bag seems to be filled completely with ash.
Can I identify those as like spell components?
No, because they're not.
Fair. It's interesting. Or is this some sort of religious thing?
I don't know.
Not my forte. Glint climbs back down, rejoins the rest of the party. He kind of looks at like his broken picks, kind of like scowls and throws them aside, and he says, "Well, that was a waste of time."
I don't know.
Did
Free
he
to
say
creature?
anything?
Well, no, but I tried to communicate with it, but apparently it doesn't speak Draconic.
Try common.
It didn't get that far.
Fair enough.
Table's still yours.
So, we've made it this far. Do we want to try and press on to the Barrow on our own, or do we want to head back to town and make contact with Albrecht and his agitators and let them know we found a path to get out this way? I imagine if we brought all the agitators and managed to guide them through the sewers, we could mount quite the assault, but we'd also have to reach out to the Dwergar.
It's a long walk.
Yeah. We also don't know if we can actually get into the barrow from over here. We can just see it.
Yes, my main concern is overextending ourselves.
Well, we just took a rest.
No. What I mean is if we continue on to investigate Barrow, we run the risk of potentially getting stuck in or raising the alarm without the benefit of backup.
Fair enough.
So perhaps we could scope the place out, but if we choose to do that, I would recommend we not get too close.
Well, how close is too close?
Close enough to touch, I'd wager.
I think we know when they try to kill us.
Yes, by then it would definitely be too late.
So stop before then.
Yes.
He kind of like looks at Castia like, does this one have a concept of sarcasm?
We
It was made
We-
by Tom. It definitely does.
that fire guy probably would have been a lot of help.
Seemed like
You're
he was
welcome to
busy.
chase after him. I don't imagine he's going to be hard to find. Just follow the smoke.
Okay.
Does Cassie start walking that direction?
He sure does.
I'm sorry. Do you speak elemental?
I mean, I spoke donkey.
Orlandus will
Not
follow.
the same thing. Okay. If for nothing else than curiosity, like sheer curiosity, Glint is going to follow.
Okay. So what I will sum up is, by the time this conversation has been had and everything's been done, you kind of look up the northern pass, you'll see kind of smoking kind of bits of fire on the ground, but there is no sign of a walking fire person. But well off into the path, there are a large amount of rocks, and they seem to kind of block your sight directly down the path as the path kind of winds through them.
And there's no like smoke rising up into the air.
No, it wasn't smoking when you saw it either.
Oh, okay. Fair.
I guess he left.
I mean, you can certainly follow it. It's like leaving a trail, but you definitely would have to make an effort of it.
I guess we should go look at the barrow. That's why we're here, right?
That's why
Makes
I'm
sense.
here. We don't have to go into the barrow, but
Okay.
at least check to make sure that there's actually an entrance back here.
And how easy the entrance is to use.
That too.
Anyone have anything that they want to do remaining here? Like any questions, inquiries, any thoughts on what you're looking at here? Because, I mean, obviously, I mean, it's D&D,
Okay.
so,
Dead giant.
well, more than a
Is it-
giant.
Is there
Yeah.
anything that we can see in the
Colossal giant.
Tight.
chest area?
Like,
Like, amongst all the broken ribs and stuff, I see there's, you know,
so,
some...
I don't know if you've ever, like, seen a fire, like, you know, pile, like, in kind of rural areas, like, as they kind of build up.
Like in Middletown?
Yeah, like in Middletown. Scraps,
A
tree
burn
branches.
Hey.
pile.
A burn pile.
Okay.
So it looks like there's a lot of that inside of the space, but it doesn't look like it's like being placed there. It looks like it's more or less just kind of entered into this space naturally over time. Like there might have been trees that grew up here in, you know, older times, and the dead wood has been kind of left in the remnants. Looks like a bit of rock is kind of here and there. It definitely looks like a lot of dirt and dust piled up over time. And so there are these small little alcoves inside of it, especially under like the chain, where it's kind of just like these kind of mulchy kind of nests, and kind of gross. It does look like there's more kind of to the south, in the southern direction. As you're standing kind of in and around, or kind of getting a high ground to kind of look down into it, you can see what looks like a larger grouping of fireflies at a very strange looking point on the rocks to the south. The other thing you'll note too is kind of once you get a bit of a high ground, there aren't very many fireflies near End Barrow. In fact, there are none that you can see, and you should be able to see them from distances, because looking up the path to the north when you're chasing that down, fireflies everywhere. Looking across the space, fireflies everywhere. Looking back the way you came, fireflies everywhere, but for some reason, End Barrow is completely devoid of them.
Interesting. Do fireflies seem to be following the myrmidon?
No. They were just on that pass already, and were there, and are still there.
Yeah, I'm just curious if there was like any connection between the two of them.
It doesn't seem so.
And you said there was a concentration, like an extra dense concentration of them. Where
Kind of
at?
the south, here.
Okay.
I'll snap ping it.
Okay. Well, I mean that seems interesting, and it's somewhat on the way to. Is this spot down here the road to the Barrow, or is it?
That's the
over
road
on-
to the Barrow's on the western side.
Okay.
So the southern path, according to the marker, said it led to far. That was the only indicator.
Sorry, I got confused by the
I understand.
southwest part. Okay. I mean, what farm could it be? We don't really have a great idea of where we're at in location to everything else, other than the fact the Barrow is over there, so we kind of know like general directions. But
You would know that the way that you went to go to the Stout Wood would be due north. On the southern portion of the Stout Wood is a kind of grouping of craggy hills,
okay.
which aren't really technically named, or just kind of a part of Sepulture's Barrow.
Well, I would like to start by checking out the area with the dense fireflies.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception check. And everyone else who's accompanying Cassia, go ahead and do likewise.
Those are certainly some fireflies. Certainly some
Sure look
fireflies.
pretty.
Certainly some fireflies.
Wow.
Marginally better, Joe. That's, you know.
So, as you're walking around that way, what you will see is that it does look like there's a massive chunk of the sword kind of cut and cleft into the stone to the side there.
Uh-huh.
Looking at it, it does look like it might have been the case that the creature that you're kind of standing in the wake of was fighting something and made a downward stroke, got its sword in the stone. The sword was broken before it rusted away, and the body was laid low. It was knocked down, probably from the strike to the head. So whatever it was fighting had to have been as massive as it, or more massive, like the size that you're looking at here. It's like a good 200 or so feet. So it had to have been fighting something like the size of like a huge hill, or maybe even close to like a small mountain.
Is any of this ringing any bells, like history-wise?
You can make a history check if you'd like.
I mean, this guy's wearing a crown.
Mhm.
It's probably something crazy. I did it.
Okay.
Not well.
So the only thing that kind of catches your memory is a very well-known story amongst people who study history of the abominations, also known as the Nine Bastards. One of them was known as oh my God, what's its name? Why am I not good with my notes? But it was basically an ice mountain that was able to walk around and fight. I'll get the name here in a second.
Everybody likes Ice Mountain. Overpriced water is the best.
It's a Lingdar was the name of the mountain.
Hmm.
And yeah, based on the age of this skeleton, it had to have been thousands of years ago, minimum. So this is definitely stuff that happened in the Third Age,
All right.
possibly during the Grey War.
Well, I hope that mermaid doesn't become a problem for somebody else's game.
The treasure chest looked like it was a recent addition. So is true as the one inside of its skull. It looks like someone put these there for a purpose.
Interesting.
But the treasure chest was very intricate. Like I said, the mouth of it was very intricate. Looked like it had different kind of a very strange looking kind of mechanism as to how it opened. It kind of sealed that bad boy in there nice and tight, and yeah.
Might need to buy some new thieves' tools.
Am I able to like walk up the? Let me see if I can. Nope, that's the wrong thing. There you go. Like up the length of the sword.
Yeah. And that'll lead you up to the treasure chest.
Okay. Well, I mostly just want to go here and then see what I can see out to the west.
Sure, I'll go ahead and move you to the end where I'm at. It's going to change the music.
Hmm.
But ignore the stuff on the southern side. You're looking at it from the back end, and also ignore this yellow marker here. That's not necessary. But yeah, so you're looking at it from the back end. In between the place where you're located and the hill that it sits on, you can see that the ground is kind of covered with these red flowers. Hundreds of them, like a complete kind of just field of them. But also, it almost looks like it's a path, or like it has kind of like a point, like towards you, like it's kind of runoff from the barrow itself. The structure on top of the hill, which the hill itself is a good, 40 to 50 feet tall, is about 50 feet tall itself. It looks like there are 3 levels that you can tell. One smaller kind of level on the top with 2 towers kind of rising up off it. One level beneath that looks like it has a very structured fortification-like kind of styling. And then directly beneath that is more of a... it almost looks like it is just a very large mausoleum that the fort and the smaller building have been built on top of.
Okay.
It is the middle of the night, correct?
Yeah, so you're not able to see it terribly great because there are no lights in the place. Completely
Okay.
pitch black.
I mean,
Or there are no
You can see like the
windows.
silhouette of
Yeah,
it.
you're basically just seeing kind of like you're seeing the crenellations of the fortress side, you're seeing kind of the archaic structures of the mausoleum type portion, and then you're seeing the towers. I'm gonna move you back.
Okay.
I mean, considering it's the middle of the night, if we wanted to scout this location out now, would probably be the time to do it.
Oh, sorry. 14 perception was good enough. So the weird place where the fireflies were, Volgar, as you're kind of like, history. I don't know, yes, I remember something about a walking mountain. This space where they seem to be kind of moving about, it looks like the foliage that's kind of like in there doesn't look like it's right. It kind of looks like it's cave shaped, but like it's covering up something instead of is actually like a facing of that stone. So that'd be here. Thoughts? Joe? None?
I am devoid of thoughts.
Everybody else? Do you mention it to the group though?
Yeah.
Okay. Then everybody else.
I mean, poor curious Castia will start kind of
Digging through the
trying to dig through them to see if there is actually something on the side.
So looking into it and kind of working at it, you'll note that this appears to be a cave that kind of goes down into the ground very sharply. It's like at a I'm trying to think of what the degree would be. It's kind of like a sharp incline kind of down. It does look like water has kind of moved through the space quite rapidly, but it's no longer there. It's dry. But it looks like most of the stuff that's kind of here has grown here because the seeds or the plants themselves were kind of pushed into this space due to the water runoff moving down the roads and then into this hole.
Interesting.
And being able to see as far in the dark as I can doesn't show anything extra or any sort of like bends in which direction it goes.
Looks like it goes down for about 150 feet and then kind of hits what looks like a well-worn bowl of loam, like a kind of like damp ground.
Yeah, where it's like water would run in here, carry in a bunch of sediment, then evaporate, rinse and repeat. Literally.
Who knows what got washed down there?
Only one way to find out.
Caster's already heading in.
Okay, so it's not something that you can climb down well unless you're Spider-Man. You'll
No.
be sliding, so it's going to be kind of a, this is the way down, and it's going to be a good, 100 or so foot slide.
If it looks too treacherous for her, she'll probably reach out for Glint to do his investigating thing.
I mean, I don't know. I guess Clint could like go with Cassia and sort of support her.
I'm going to take a second. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Keep thinking.
Good luck.
Yourselves.
Yeah, I mean, my concern is a way back out.
Well, Glenn has spider climb, so that can get you out, right? Maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
Unless he dies, then.
and I don't have diamonds yet, so he's really in trouble. Maybe there are diamonds down there, though.
Could be, could be. Do we want
Glint will descend.
What?
Alright.
Why?
chaos?
What happened?
He turned his camera off.
I'm still here. Go ahead and talk.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Glint will descend.
My shirt was showing up on screen. I didn't like it.
Oh. Sorry.
It's okay. So, what you guys talk about while I was gone? Talking about me?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. How wonderful you are, and not at all going to murder anybody.
I would never do that. I would never.
Yeah.
Not
Glint is going to go into the pit.
Okay. You descend down. When you get to the bottom.
I'm gonna have my weapons out, short sword and
Well,
a
you
knife.
have one out because I guess you're spider climbing, so it's fine. Right? Or how does that work? I need to look that up.
It states here that I can move along walls while keeping my hands free.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it would be kind of like spider climb slippers.
It's literally called
Kind of
spider
like-
climb.
Yeah.
You have a climbing speed equal to your walking speed. In addition, at third level, you can move up, down, and across vertical surfaces and upside down along ceilings while leaving your hand free.
Yep.
You're just David Bowieing it.
Honestly, kind of busted.
It's not bad.
We learned that with Soma, for sure.
But yeah, you descend down. Once you get to the bottom, like I said, it's looks like there's a little bit of moisture to it, so your footprints are very clearly left. Doesn't look like there are any other footprints present. It looks like there is a narrow passageway, which some of you may have to kind of crawl into, while others not so much. It does look like it continues in a westerly fashion.
So, as he proceeds, he would like to move stealthily.
Okay.
And like once I reach like about how far is it from the entrance to like the bottom of the pit?
120 feet.
120 feet. Okay, that's quite a bit. Yeah, I guess I'll just move slowly. He'll keep an ear out for any noise or anything, and he'll keep an eye out for anything interesting.
Completely still. There's like a ambiance of just being underground. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
And then when he reaches the bottom, is there anything down there?
That path. That path I mentioned.
Oh yeah, so that path you said goes to the
West.
Westerly.
Okay.
That is the direction we're trying to go. Well,
That is true. So he's not going to explore that path. He's going to make his way back up the tunnel, and then
Okay.
he'll explain that at the bottom there's a pit, kind of loamy. Doesn't seem to be anything down there except another path that leads off to the west.
Where does it go?
It leads off to the west. I didn't explore it any further. I figured I didn't want to get too far from you guys, especially if you don't know where I'm at.
I mean, we knew you were in there.
That's true, but you did not know that there is another path down there that leads off to the west. So here I am, reporting it to you.
Good reporting. Don't suppose that leads to the barrow at all, does it?
Perhaps. You did say that the mansion up on the hill appears to be built on top of a mausoleum or something.
I mean, it looks like it, but it doesn't. Don't know if it's actually a mausoleum. Never been in there myself.
Perhaps there are more tunnels and catacombs throughout this area. Perhaps this could be a way for us to infiltrate the mansion from below. Either way, I think we have the time. I think it's this is an avenue worth exploring, but I certainly don't want to venture on down there by myself. If I'm being honest, it's kind of spooky.
Suppose we could at least give it a little look, right?
Yes, we might need to string up some ropes. It might be a little difficult for some of you. Any kind of like Tacassia. He says to navigate.
Got 50 feet of it. How much do we need?
It's about 120 feet to the bottom. So I have another 50 feet. And I'm sure if we had another one, that would provide us enough to probably navigate safely.
The slide isn't so bad for like a short distance. It's that if you build up enough momentum, it would probably hurt. I mean, it would definitely not hurt as bad as dropping 120 feet, like with nothing. But like a 20-foot slide into the loamy dirt is just going to make you dirty.
Be fine.
But if you slid 120 feet, it'd be like a 60-foot fall.
Yeah.
So I think, especially with like, because I have 10 pitons, so I think especially with the rope and the pitons, it wouldn't be too hard to like set up some sort of
I'm fine with that.
handhold that people could sort of hand walk their way down.
Totally okay with that.
Sounds good to me.
Will we be
Into
able
the
to get back
abyss.
up?
Worry about that when it's time to come back up.
That's fair.
Okay, so we're making our way downtown. Walking
We
fast
are.
From our Lykoi Manor bound. Okay.
Making our way downtown.
So when you get into and everyone's down there, and you start making your way into the crawl space, the point is the descent, entering into the loam, moving about, crawling. Everyone, with the exception of probably Balgar and maybe Castia, due to heights, unless Lose is a lot shorter than I thought she was. If you're like less than 5'8", then you're probably not going to be too dirty either. But the rest of you, yeah, that's fine. The rest of you are going to have to kind of squat down, at some points drop to a knee, and kind of shuffle through, whereas the others can kind of just do like a frog walk, easy enough. So if you're not Cassia or Balgar, you are technically dirty. If that'll matter, I don't know.
Scandalous.
As you come to what feels like the end of the space, what you see is that the tunnel opens up into a larger space, but not much wider. Directly in front of you, you see a stone wall, which seems to match the architecture for Glint and Astrogoth, the stone walls you saw in Endbarrow and the Sepulchres area. It looks like the dirt that's kind of makeup of the tunnel that you're in covers the left side of it, but allows for the wall to kind of move in this very narrow open space between where the dirt is and where the wall is. Like there's a cavity in between whatever this stone structure is and the dirt. So it looks like when you come out, kind of press your hands against the stone wall or kind of look off to the right, it looks like you can kind of walk around this architecture. There's still like a dirt ceiling atop you. And it has a lot of very small, tiny roots coming through it. What you'll notice immediately is that the roots appear to have a very sharp kind of point. Like each of the roots has like a sharp tip and has a reddish color to them.
Spooky.
I'm not very naturally inclined, so wish we had a druid.
I don't have nature.
If I can make it untrained, I'll take a stab at it. But
Balgar has nature.
I have.
Yeah, if you'd like to make a nature roll. Again, you've seen the flowers already, but...
I did it.
Alright, that's really good.
Excellent.
So what you would know about these roots is they're not anything to be worried about. They are, kind of intimidating. But at the same time, you would know it's not like, plants, in most cases, are capable of attacking anybody. You would know that the plant in question, having seen the top portion of it and now seeing kind of a deep root structure of it, is a type of flower known as dread blossoms. And thinking on that, you would know that it's fortunate that you didn't try to cross above, because dread blossoms do have a habit of, when things get close to them, lifting up out of their root networks and their seeds, which are actually flowers as well, shooting into people with their kind of barbed trunk, their barbed stem. Stem is the word I want, because they're flowers.
So it's good that we took the pit.
Yeah.
And another thing too is it's probably the case that entire field where those red flowers are located is filled with dead bodies, because they grow out
On
of
dead bodies?
Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Shit.
So the joke's on you. The easy 20-foot fall was not the trap.
Oh, Jonah, hey.
Yeah, I think that would also explain why they're growing there, is they've taken root in all the dead bodies in the mausoleum.
The obvious trap was the trap in that it was a trap to make you think that it wasn't a trap.
It's like, oh, a field of flowers. How bad could it be?
Dead.
I was hoping, because it's a monster I wrote out and created, so I was really interested to see it in action. But
I mean, we could say that Orlandus went that way. He wasn't here to dispute that.
yeah, so that was it was a monster from ancient old times in the D&D, I think second or third, I don't remember. And that image was a part of the DM's Guild Creator Pack, so I added it to Dirks and Daggers.
Nice.
Anywho. You avoid
I guess.
flower death?
Yeah. Like, if the roots are there...
It looks like you can move around the structure, the underground structure, the subterranean segment of it, off to the right.
Okay.
And
so that'll be heading kind of northwest.
You're not exactly sure where you're at. Balgar would be able to tell you you're probably about, at this point, you kind of had a bit of an incline upwards, or technically you were at a higher point, or you were at a higher point and now are kind of moving towards ground level for what End Barrow would be, or Sepulture's Barrow would be. So you're probably about 50 feet underground is what Balgar would say.
Onward?
Yeah.
Who's first around the corner?
Glint, moving stealthily.
Okay. Glint, you see that near where you can see kind of beveled corner of stone, it looks like it comes to a dead end, but you look down and there is a hole in the ground that looks like it drops about 10 feet down into like another small tunnelway.
He takes a moment to listen to see if he hears anything coming out of that hole.
That is the grave.
Oh, that's ominous. And then he descends, and then he listens again.
Okay. That makes sense. So I will, as you descend, move you onto the map. And switch. And switch.
So he's basically like, it's like move a short distance, stop, be silent, listen.
Oh, my computer's having issues. Hold on. Do you see or no?
I see blackness.
I see what.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Bear with me here. I said music. I'm giving.
I've come to fight with you again.
There's a bear with you.
Sounds stressful.
A bugbear.
Wah, wah.
Bugbear, more like a bud bear.
Buddy.
I didn't go in the flowers. Oh, I gotcha.
Like a buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's loud. That's very loud.
And extra ominous.
Yeah, well, we want ominous. That's the thing.
Oh, I don't.
Okay, so as it looks like it's a tunnel. Looks like there's a kind of dead end, but to the right, it looks like there might be a pass through. Who was next in line? Lose, right? You're kind of looking down at him and can see him kind of like looking around. And you're muted if you're talking.
I can't see anything still.
Not yet. You haven't dropped down yet.
Oh, okay.
If you want to climb down after him, you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, he makes some room, and he'll help her if she needs it.
Nah.
Drop right on him. That's what I did. I just put the token onto him. Okay. Does everybody want to descend and make the... Does everybody want to descend and make their way down?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, I'll just start stacking you on top.
I mean, he survived a giant tick being dropped on him, right?
No,
He'll be fine. Totally fine.
It wasn't
We've
a
all
tick, it was a
survived some
flea.
horrible shit.
Sorry.
And...
He had some other stuff fall on him.
Oh,
Blood-sucking
interesting.
potato,
Oh,
blood-sucking potato.
Yeah.
Hold on. Bear
He
with
did
me here.
have the whole ass roper drop on him.
Silly.
No, that was well, wait, no, yeah, he did. He did have that happen.
What is happening with everything?
I don't know.
I ask myself that very often.
Okay, great. We're back on the map, and it's not revealing anything.
I can't see shit.
What is that?
Am I benefiting from
Oh, I see why. That's so dumb.
dark vision?
I don't know, are you?
I don't know.
Should be.
No.
Haven't-
My character normally doesn't, but
Yeah.
is
I have not done the thing for everybody, no.
okay.
You probably have light, and that's...
I'm pretty sure the light it takes away from my
You want light or no
my
light?
stuff. Fuck it, I'll take light. But
Okay, then you can go
Catch
first.
Firefly.
I'll put my hood up.
You're also coming in weird. I don't know, like, if you did something different with your sound.
No, I just lost my voice.
Oh, okay.
He went to Anime Coon.
Why are you scramming at people?
It was exciting.
Oh, that's fine.
It's
Yeah.
a cool con.
Okay, so yeah, like around the corner, it does look like there's kind of a pass to the right, or the north of the map.
If Jonah or if Orlandus is gonna have light, Glint would like him to go first.
Okay.
Okay. Alright,
Like-
so hood up.
And then Glint will hang back like outside the lights area.
So hood up, shield up, and then he's gonna walk. Do I have light, the spell, or a torch out?
Light probably on your shield. I haven't
Okay.
cast it on anything else, so...
So then I'll have my spear out as well, just in case.
So up ahead, it looks like you can see what appears to be a kind of brick-like structure that has a number of different holes in it, as if it's just been kind of falling away. You can see some of the broken bricks on your side of it, and you presume that on the other side of it there are also broken bricks. It's very similar structure-wise to the exterior that I mentioned, However, these stones look like they're older still. So the stones outside were a little bit newer and cleaner than these. These look a little bit more kind of dirty brown, whereas the outside stones were kind of that polished white of the barrow that you saw outside.
Just
Okay.
keep building on ruins.
Yeah, it's the best way to do it.
Does it look like it can be like cleared out to make a path?
Yeah, absolutely. But it definitely isn't going to be a quiet affair.
Sure.
Is it one large stone or is it several small stones?
It's bricks.
Bricks.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
I can't multi-mage hand.
Me saying bricks just made me think about Bricks ice cream,
Cool.
which is right here in Broad Rip Line.
Good. Sounds real good right now.
What do you want to do about it, Orlandis?
He'll ask the party what we can do to make this quieter, if possible.
I guess I probably shouldn't greet whatever we find then.
I don't know. They might be nice.
Okay.
Probably not.
Well, if we don't ask, we'll never know.
Where's a snake with 1,000 mage hands when you need it?
Do we have a way of making these quieter?
Go very slowly.
I could try that. Yeah. All right, I'll try dismembering the wall quietly or slowly, I guess.
You can make a stealth check, but I will say you'll be making this one with disadvantage, regardless of proficiency or no armor causing problems.
Oh no, the armor causes problem, but I got the hood up.
Yeah,
Does that make a difference?
It's fine. It's not. This is definitely not a seeing affair. So this is,
Okay.
This is definitely a listening affair. So the cloak doesn't.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So immediately after kind of looking at it, I don't know if you've ever played Jenga, but
Yes.
you're like, yeah, this one, and then the whole thing just started kind of falling in, and you're kind of like, and everyone kind of was looking at you like, and you're just watching as the bricks kind of fall out. Nice solid chunk of them, but yeah, you definitely can kind of push them over from what you realize and kind of make your way inside to the space. Having seen a bit into it already, you would have noted that it does look like it has structure. Looks like it was actually built for purpose. And you see lining the walls on the left and on the right a number of ornate-looking sarcophagi showing carved depictions of people. The people who are presumably inside of them.
Do these look like humanoid, like depictions?
Janaran people, yep.
Okay. No, I just wanted to make sure in case it was like dwarvish or anything like that.
There are a total of 7. Looks like there are a couple of boxes and a large urn kind of in the north corner, and another large urn in the kind of top right corner.
Okay. Orlandis will make his way up slowly.
Okay, let's say in
carefully.
Orlandis both, you would see with your passive perception that the wall on the left here. Oh, that didn't ping for you. Hold on. The wall on the left here looks like it has a similar structure to the wall you just broke through. However, it's not broken yet. Like you can see like through holes and gaps in the bricks, and some of the bricks have kind of fallen away or kind of eroded on their sides, allowing for these kind of gaps in this in the masonry.
Can I? Is it like all the way along that wall?
No, it's mainly just right here.
Oh, can I get on top then and look in?
So yeah, you can. And looking inside, it does appear that there does look like there is kind of a tunnel similar to the one you just left on the other side of this space. Yeah.
Well, like any good monster hunter, I would like to check the sarcophagi.
Okay. And by check the sarcophagi, do you mean that you are going to start moving the tops off?
Yes, with a crowbar.
Does anybody attempt to stop him?
Orlandis might. Yeah, he will.
You kind of raise your hand up.
Yeah, he'll raise his hand and he'll say, "Do not disturb the dead." This could make it very bad for us.
Can we open this wall?
You can ignore his heating at your pleasure. You can do what you want. You're your own character, but I just wanted to make sure that if anybody was interested in trying to halt you from that process, we covered it.
Yeah, didn't
Glenn
we
kind
get
of like pauses. Thinks, okay.
I mean, didn't we get mad at the Denisotvans for doing that to Balgar's family?
I suppose you're right. I'm assuming these are Lykois. I must admit, I'm much less sympathetic to them.
They look a little older than that.
And Orlandis and Astrogoth and Balgar, who are very knowledgeable folk, would note that the Lykois have been identified as Tabaxi. They're a Tabaxi family. These are Jernaran people.
Oh, derp.
So pre
I knew
in
that.
this
I
area.
knew that.
Presumably pre-Tabaxi, or these sarcophagi are for not the people who are ruling, and they may not be connected to the manor. You're not exactly sure where you're at. However, you have a pretty solid guess where you're at.
Do you see anything on the other side of this wall?
Looks like another tunnel.
Doesn't, just to remind people, since this came up at the very end, doesn't our good friend Glint now have like true sight and tremor sense and all kinds of weird shit from his headband?
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
I don't know if that affects anything that he's seeing here, but
Did he
made
tell
that
us?
decision at the end.
Sorry, he hasn't actually. Did you attune to it? I don't remember if you said you attuned to it or not. I know you.
Oh
were.
yeah, I made a little in-character post. He put it on. It stuck
Okay.
to his. Oh.
So, hold on.
I should have told her away. This. I'm a king. I can do whatever I want.
That's how it works. Where did I post the item? Oh my god, it's so far away.
I think I put it on my character sheet.
I know, but
Yeah,
I
it
posted
wasn't
the
wrong.
item.
Dead king.
I
While you
posted
wear
the-
this item and are attuned to it, you have tremor sense at 30 feet. Additionally, you can take an action to gain true sight out to 30 feet until the end of your turn.
Yep. So tremor sense, it does seem that there is just like these light palpitations, these kind of like undulations that are undetectable otherwise, but you're noticing kind of in between you and the northern side of this long chamber. But beyond that, nothing is outside of what you'd expect. There's just this slight, strange movement up that way.
I'm sorry, up which way?
The north side of this chamber, so the way you're kind of going.
Okay. I would like to use an action. I'm sorry, is there any limitation on how many times I can use this true sight action?
Oh, sorry, yeah, it should be just one time per day. I think I might have messed that up.
Okay, then I will not use that. Does it feel like many small motions?
No, it's just like one kind of source of it.
Okay. Can I? Sorry, I know tremor sense is usually a monster ability. So I'm trying to see exactly what
So,
limitations are.
sure, tremor sense is, as identified, reads as follows. A monster with tremor sense can detect and pinpoint the origin of vibrations within a specific radius, provided the monster and the source of the vibrations are in contact with the same ground or substance. That's the main thing. It's not whatever it is. It just seems to be kind of a stirring. It's like a weird kind of just presence of motion on the dirt. It's very hard to kind of pinpoint. But yeah.
I mean, it literally says I can pinpoint it.
Yeah, it's not really touching the ground, is what I'm telling you.
Oh.
Oh shit.
That next part is the important part. Provided the monster and the source of the vibrations are in contact with the same ground or source. You are not.
Okay. Okay, so these like barrels and crates and stuff. So Glenn kind of looks off this way, like he's really unsure of what to make of this.
Okay.
And he says, I think there's something on the other side of this wall. And then after thinking about it for a second, and then he'll...
It's actually kind of more close to where you're at, like around about there. It's not
Oh,
due north, it's kind of in between where you started and where you were going.
Well, then he's going to kind of check these crates and barrels and kind of see what's going on there.
Okay, so what you would notice is it does look like there's a wax ceiling around the top of the boxes. If you've ever had, what's the name of the booze that they dip the top in?
Maker's Mark?
Yeah,
Mark?
it's like somebody maker's marked the side of the boxes and then scraped off the top. And the same is true of the urns. Looks like they have like a wax seal around the what would be considered the containment of it. Do you wish to break the seals or no?
He looks at Orlando and he says, "Is it okay if I open these up?"
Disturbing the dead is disturbing the dead, no matter what you do.
Who
It
puts
is up
their
to you.
dead in a box?
These don't look like coffins to me.
It is up to you.
Okay. Pulls out his crowbar and peels the lid off one of the crates.
As he puts the crowbar in and starts pushing up the lid, everyone on the south side of it watches as this black shade of a humanoid figure kind of appears behind Glint, kind of reaching its hands around the side of his head. And Glint, you hear this whisper just breathing on your ear that says, "What do you think you're doing?"
Immediately, like, drops the crowbar and is like, "Ah!"
You feel this negative energy kind of fill your body as you turn and look at this wraith that's kind of like behind you, slowly backing away, wisping away from you. "What do you think you're doing?" the wraith says again.
Indulge in my curiosity. Sorry. Sorry? Yeah, sorry.
So they do put their dead in boxes.
Points, and you can just feel its finger like in your face, and it just kind of like just starts wisping about, and it says, "Pick up your trinket and leave."
Yeah.
Since we're talking, do you know if this way, and he kind of points like in this general direction, says, do you know if these tunnels will lead us to the Sepulchre's Barrow?
There's this like kind of pause immediately after the question is asked, and it's kind of looking at you, and you think like, "Oh yeah, he's gonna answer my question. He's just thinking about it." And then its face peels, like the blackness peels, and you see this face of like morbid death just screaming at you. Its eyes kind of bulging out of the sockets of its skull. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw. Everyone on the outside, you're not seeing directly the Beetlejuicean kind of horror show. So,
This is fun.
where's that wisdom save?
He's making a face.
Frightened?
Oh no!
And yeah, you're still inside of whatever aura it's presenting, which makes you feel this kind of sense of dread already. But it's just screaming at you. What's your response to it screaming at you? You're frightened, by the way.
Yeah, I immediately start running away.
Okay.
And then it's almost like cartoonishly.
Did you grab your crowbar or no?
Almost cartoonishly, like a moment after I start running, Mage hand my crowbar to me.
Before you do, it seems to kind of lift up off its own accord and fling after you and said, "I said take your trinket!" And you kind of run.
Can I catch it on the run?
Yeah. You kind of like, "Oh, okay." And it stands there, its face kind of shifting back to normal. And for a second, everyone can kind of see this very noble-looking figure, wreathed in shadow, just slowly fade back into the ethereal.
Out of
I was gonna ask.
Could we hear what it was saying, or was it just in Glint's head?
It was speaking normally. It was corporeal. It became tangible. I'm assuming that nobody chimed in and wanted to shoot it or murder it while that was happening.
I wasn't gonna shoot it, but I was cast it after Glint was running away. Would have been like, "Sorry, we're just looking for directions."
Yeah, it doesn't really pay attention as it goes
figured.
away.
I was gonna use. I'm gonna use Shake It Off on Glint as he runs.
He's only frightened for a turn.
Okay.
Don't waste it.
Got you. I mean, it comes back. It's free.
Well, you have to take a short rest to do it.
No, not the exploits.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
The gambit.
Gotcha. It's fine. He's not frightened anymore. It's cool.
Yeah, that's okay.
That makes it about where he's at before it kind of wears off.
The specter just disappears.
Yeah, it seems to just fade back into the ethereal. And so, Astrogoth and Balgar, if you have religion trained, I don't know if either of you do, but you're both jack of all trades, or no, sorry, one of you is jack of all trades right now. So you would know that it would, hell yeah, 23 is super high. So you would know that the wraith is still there, but it's no longer on the material plane. It is in what is known as the near ethereal. So one step outside into the plane of shadow, and one step outside of being in the Feywild is this near ethereal space that's kind of tangibly locked between death and magical life.
All right.
Can I use? Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was wondering if I could use the history skill check. Either collector of stories or historical knowledge.
Yeah, so again, that's mainly for like plot information that would be kind of relevant to the plot beats.
Gotcha,
and I
gotcha.
still am a horrible friend and haven't gotten you that crap. But
It's
what,
okay.
what I will say, because you're kind of looking at it, no roll needed. So you would know that Carden has a very long tradition. It's been around for a while. It's been around since the Fourth Age. Like back when Jernaris was wholly ruled by the conglomerate. So what you can see here is it looks like these people who are honorably buried here looks like they were buried here because they were people of importance, folk heroes of the town who were placed here in honor. And whatever you just saw appears to be their defender.
Okay.
Oh. Well, now I feel really bad. But it's okay. No harm, no foul.
For some trauma.
Put him in a box.
All right. Let's say you're up onto the thing. You're not really breaking into it, but you can kind of see in there, and there's like a bit of a tunnel way. Do you want to try and push the stone aside, or make your way into it, or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Promising.
If you just are pushing it, similarly, it does fall away with ease. It does look like the structure itself has long ago since been, in this space at least, become not supportive and not functional as a wall. The other walls on the outside seem fine. There's a couple of places where it looks like it kind of bows in a little bit, but not so much as this space and the space you entered.
Yeah.
Tunnel lines, and everybody watches as Lose kind of kicks the stone, takes the bricks down, and it kind of enters into this hole on the other side of the coffin.
Oh, I'll follow her. Orlandis will follow.
Coming up to it, you would see that there is a door, which is strange. It definitely looks like the door frame was added well after that stone structure was built, because it looks a lot newer. And from what you can tell, it's wood reinforced with a dark iron, and it looks like there's at least 2 locks that you can detect that are in place on this this door.
And they're locked.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Glens? Think we need those picks that you got?
I think you went for a cigarette.
No.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry. So a locked door?
Yeah, and has 2 locks. And if you are checking it out, I'd like for you to go ahead and make a thieves' tools check, but make it with intelligence. This is not to break the lock. This is just to kind of look at the lock and identify a certain trait about it.
Okay, if you could roll that one for me, because I am smoking.
Yeah, I knew it.
I knew it.
But instead of picking this lock, I think it might be best to just try to.
Well, what you're going to try and figure out here with this check that I'm making for you is that...
Whoa.
You should just have him roll everything for you.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
This lock specifically has 2 keys, and it requires both keys to be turned simultaneously. You would know that if you picked one and then extracted, and the other lock wasn't picked, it would immediately relock the lock you just unlocked. So you require 2 keys or 2 pairs of thieves' tools, or 1 pair of thieves' tools with options for breaking. The locks are not very like crazy. Like they're not like, oh my gosh, this is going to be hard. Like you're thinking somewhere in the range of the teens, DC. But at the same time, both have to be picked at the same time. So if you do try to pick it with just one hand, you'd be doing both checks with disadvantage. But if you had someone who was lock picking with you, the 2 of you would make your checks just straight.
I also have thieves' tools.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Oh yeah. I mean, wait. I've been the only one picking doors this whole time.
Yeah.
I think he picked the one on the way to the Drugar, but otherwise you've been, you're the vanguard of lockpicking.
Didn't he?
Didn't want to steal the limelight.
Didn't you natural 20 that bad boy and like?
I'm pretty sure he did.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why we shortcut the whole thing.
Yeah, because that had a huge DC, like the door we just, or the treasure chest we just dealt with. That's crazy.
He got like a 30 with
Okay.
I think it was.
So if the 2 of you are going in tandem, I'd like for both of you to go ahead and make your thieves' tools check. Are you still smoking?
No, I'm back now.
All right, roll it yourself then.
Bum, bum, bum.
Could have
is
had
this
him roll it. I'm just going to say it in advance.
Is this one with
Don't
Dex?
jinx
Dex.
them.
Yep.
Not jinxing. It's already been
Snake
jinxed.
He did
One for you, Asher.
fine.
All right. So the 2 of you work together.
Good work.
And unlock the mechanism. The relocker does not set, and you both push the door open, or are you just gonna not do that?
Well,
No, we're just gonna pick the locks and then leave the door alone completely.
That makes sense. So you
And
open the
go
door,
home.
Let us do the heavy lifting.
and on the other side you see a total of 8 coffins circled
A
around
dragon.
a very ornate
I got
magical symbol drawn on the ground that's glowing red. And in the center of the room, in that, is a massive cauldron made out of iron. Looks like the same iron that was formative of the Titan's chainmail. Very similar kind of sheen to it. And it looks like it's been designed to have a kind of winged cat kind of over the top of it. There are.
I'm sorry, stairway?
We'll get to that in a
No,
second.
no, no.
We've already moved past that. You're back.
Yeah, I went the
To the
wrong way.
left. To
Okay.
the left.
Stop moving.
Can you?
Sorry.
All right. So you would see that there are torches kind of ringed around the outside. The torches burn with a red light, or their light is altered by the magical glyphs on the ground. The coffins laying about on the ground look like they are lacquered black wood, and it looks like they have the symbol of Atavius placed on each of them. Yep. You're not a dunce, Glint. You've seen things like this or read about things like this before. This is definitely a vampire coven.
Shit.
But it's nighttime.
Shit.
They're not home.
Yeah, they're out getting dinner.
So the door like creaks open, like creepily. Glint does one of these, and then his face just goes, "This is bad."
What's in there?
This is very vampiric. This is
Oh, did we find his family? And she'll point at Astragoth.
the thing is, it's nighttime, so
Mhm.
they're not here right now.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Which means they could probably come back at any moment.
But if they're not here, doesn't that mean this is the best time to go through?
Yes, except well, we might
Yes, but also no.
we might run into them on the way through.
Well, we don't know which direction they'd be coming from. Maybe
Yeah,
they
that,
came this way.
Let me elaborate. This seems to imply that a vampire has desecrated the corpses of these holy warriors.
Well, that seems bad.
No, you just broke a wall that's never been broken down before.
Oh,
Yeah, that wall.
I'm sorry. I
That
thought
wall.
there was.
Yeah, this isn't Indiana Jones 4. Like, you don't like make an elaborate wall and then smash it down and then it gets reformed somehow. That wall definitely has been standing since this place was formed, and Lose was the one who said that doesn't exist
Wow.
anymore.
Damn.
Oh, well, I was confused by the fact that a bunch of Atavian coffins would be filled with men.
Yeah, they're there, but the room you just came from with the honored dead does not look like they have been touched by these assholes. Unless they have
Well,
some.
they may be
that's
now.
some good news.
I mean, why are we
I'm
calling
sorry.
them assholes? They might be nice.
They might be.
I'm
nice.
confused that you said these coffins in this room have Atavian symbols on there.
Yeah, these ones
do.
do. The ones in the other room didn't.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not
They
religiously
were
trained.
just Janara.
Okay, so I may have erroneously assumed that the symbol on the coffin implied that.
No. Atavius
they
is
were
a god. He's one of three. There is no good or evil god. All gods are both. So understand, the symbol of Atavius does not mean that they are lawful. It just means that they are using. They might mean they're lawful.
Chaotic.
Well, I mean, I assumed that this was like some sort of like marking on the coffin, but it also could potentially be like a seal.
Yeah, it is a seal.
So it's like sealing these coffins closed.
No. It's like a seal more in the lines of like a marker, an indicator. Sorry.
Like you put like a cross on the outside of a coffin. Because...
Yeah.
Yeah. So Glint kind of thinks about it some more, and then he says, "Oh no, and then his voice drops to like almost like barely an audible whisper, and he says, "Still here."
Who's here?
And
What?
He points at the coffins.
What are we to do in this situation?
We need to leave.
But isn't it bad to desecrate the dead?
Incredible.
Yes, but these dead will desecrate you.
I don't think that's true. I killed a dragon.
Okay, we need to leave.
Which way?
Close the door and lock it.
It doesn't lock from the other side either. So what you'll notice, it doesn't have a locking mechanism. It does appear that it requires keys on both sides. It's like a skeleton key styling.
So we can't like unpick the locks?
You could, but you have to try it again. So it's probably the first time in D&D you've ever rolled a thieves' tools check to lock a lock. But hey, that's what we're here for. We're here for new experiences. We're here for fun. We're here for excitement.
And running away from vampires.
We're here for cowardice. Live your life. But what I will note too is on the northwestern side of the room, what you're kind of very clearly able to make out is there is a door that's kind of just hanging open. What I'll say is it almost looks like the door was kind of opened at some point earlier. You probably all live in some sort of home or apartment, and there's probably some door inside of your house that's been left open by you when you entered a space and just didn't close the door, because you don't close all your doors. Nobody does. Only psychopaths would close all their doors. And that's not you. You're not a psychopath. Maybe Jonah, but not the rest of you.
So
I actually do.
Maybe
I actually
Tom.
close
I
all
figured
my
you were the
doors.
type. Well, you also live with people, so that makes sense.
Real quick,
True.
while we're actually looking at the room, are there any like footprints in the floor? Any like fresh marks?
Fuck yeah. Bunches of.
Is there anything on the ceiling?
Nope.
Spider climbing?
20 vampires.
Okay,
There's
just
only
making sure.
8 coffins thing.
Just making sure.
They like to snuggle. Keeps them
So
warm.
Orlandis, being deathly afraid of whatever creature is a vampire, he's going to put his hood up. I mean, it's already up, but he's going to attempt to sneak past this horrifying sight and...
So looking into the room, you would actually note a couple of things. Let me just make sure you're clear of what your options are. There's the door that's ajar off to here. Looks like someone's gone through it. There's a door that is not ajar here. And it looks like it's made out of iron entirely. And there's just a handle. There's no mechanism for lock, just a solid iron door. And then there appears to be something here to the north, but you'll have to kind of maneuver that way to see for sure what that is.
Yeah. Yeah, I will do that. I will maneuver to the
Wait,
north.
Orlandis, what are you doing?
I do not. I don't know, but I do not think they are active here.
Hold on. Wait.
I'm waiting.
Wait.
I'm waiting.
Yeah.
So, Glint,
Yeah, agreed.
Literally inside of Glint's mind. Shit!
My mom has the best fucking timing.
That's
I
good.
love her.
That was great comic
I
timing
love
for
her.
sure.
Love her.
Close the door.
Okay.
Glint,
Thought the door
kind
was
of,
closed
Close the
already.
doors.
he kneels down on the ground and he puts his hands on the ground. Does
Yeah.
he feel any tremors
Nope.
aside from his friends?
Nope.
Okay.
Orlandis is going to point out the door to the south.
So I'm trying to remember.
Our best option.
Will True Sight allow me to like see through things?
No, True Sight just lets you see things as they actually are. So if there's invisible things, things in the near ethereal, all that shit, you can see them.
Or fish people that.
Because I know
can't
it'll
see
let
the
me like
kids.
see into the ethereal plane, but I didn't know
Hold
if
on.
the ethereal.
What was that, Zach?
I said, would that work on fish people that you can't see with dark vision?
Yeah, 100%. Tremor Sense will too. Fucking
That's
assholes.
good to know. No, fuck those guys.
Hate them.
Those fish.
Okay, so because
Oh,
I'm
is
just
it-
trying to see if like if using True Sight will be able to tell me if there's anything in that in those coffins.
Yeah, that's fine. So what you would know about vampires being a monster hunter is that vampires can fly, vampires can take gaseous form, vampires can become invisible, vampires have all sorts of different tricks that they can try to utilize to obscure themselves from people. Would they know you have tremor sense? Probably not. Would they think that anybody with tremor sense would be shaped like you? Absolutely not. So it's probably not the case that they're in your vicinity and trying to sneak up on you in that manner. Unless they're just
No, I'm just trying to decide if they're like chilling in their coffins or if they're.
There is absolutely no movement or anything inside of those coffins. It is nearly 1 o'clock in the middle of the night. There is no way they're hanging out here.
They're
Okay.
out partying.
Yeah, so Glint's just like kneeling on the floor, like looking around like this is probably the most scared you have ever seen Glint.
Respectfully so. It's
Well, actually, aside from earlier.
Oh, okay.
That
Yeah.
makes sense, yeah. Oh yeah, with the ghost did scare the shit out of you.
Would I'm gonna ask again, would history tricks help me here?
No, there's no tricks here.
Okay.
There are coffins with Atavian symbols.
Yeah, okay. Alright. So yeah, I'm gonna continue what I was gonna do and go north to that thing that you were pointing out.
Okay. So you would see as you come around, there is a kind of passageway. It looks like there would have been a door here, like there's some sort of frame to it. But it looks like, from what you can tell, just making sure. Bear with me here. Yeah, it looks like the door is gone. Looks like there's a frame that's kind of been put here. Directly kind of through it, you see that there's another kind of doorway. That one looks like it's a bit more closed, but it looks like the path still continues to wind off and around to the left.
Okay. Instead of going in, I'm just gonna walk back and whisper to Glint that there is a passageway over there. I believe it connects to the passageway where we saw the specter.
Okay, I cannot stress this enough. I want to make sure that those vampires do not come between us and our way out of here.
Indeed, I agree.
We could
The
kill
last thing we want to do.
vampires. We could kill the vampires.
When
It's an
Lasse
option, right?
when Lasse says kill, I immediately turn back to the coffins to see if there's any reaction. Does anything fling open or sound like it's moving?
I'm not
No.
that.
He said that there was nothing
I'm
else.
not that cliche. And then they all spring open. Vampires.
I'm just asking.
There's
Only
actually
to
a
kill
dragon!
Jonah specifically.
Yeah. I
Really
understand.
though?
Wait. Dragon vampires.
They're dragon vampires.
Oh, I'm built to kill the fuck out of those.
That's all I can do.
That's right.
Hilarious.
So after
I'm
no,
gonna pop in and take a
okay.
look around.
Okay. Yeah, you see everything we've described as follows.
Okay. He walked in front of one of these things, right?
Yeah. So basically what they look like are kind of stone stumps. They almost look like they're kind of just almost like tree trunks, but completely rock. The one that's kind of right at the front door goes up about 6 feet, and the ceiling is about 20 feet above you. So there's a nice gap in between that and the top. And it looks like the stumps are all about. Some of them are kind of stuck in the walls, some of them not. But they all have this kind of knot that has a hole through it, and there's a torch that has been kind of put into the sconce. The made sconce from the knot that's present. The torches appear to be burning without smoke.
Fancy. Didn't have one of those.
And the bards would immediately identify these as ever-burning torches.
Might be good to take one of those.
Make my way around.
Do I smell blood?
Oh yeah, there's a huge ass fucking cauldron of it in the middle.
Okay.
That's not good.
And like I said, the artifice of the cauldron, kind of on the back wall of it, is a winged, like a demon winged cat that's kind of like over the top of it. If you'd like, you can make a Arcana or Nature roll to try and identify what that cat means. But
Nope.
So 22?
Cute cat girl.
no, 22 is not high enough.
Oh, damn.
What?
22 isn't high enough.
It just appears to be like a house cat with evil demon wings.
It's a bad cat. Is it white?
No.
So, are we sort of just milling around here?
Looks like it. So yeah, Lose
We're
looking
checking. We're
the-
checking.
the door and kind of in that pass, it does look like it kind of has its own door frame, but no door. And it looks, and a door. Sorry, the door's open. It looks like it goes into another hallway.
All right. I want to quietly peek my head around that corner.
Okay.
I want to check this door down here.
Okay. The door is made out of iron. It appears to, have a door handle.
Does the handle turn?
Yeah. So it has kind of like a very creaky sound to it, but yeah, it definitely does open. It's very much like horror movie stock audio, that kind of like, and then
So
Amazing.
I have a question. So when you have creaky doors, is it more creaky if you open it fast or slow?
This son of a bitch, like whatever you want to do to make it less creaky, when you do the opposite, it's more creaky. When you're like correcting to make it right, that's when
It just keeps getting worse.
That's when it.
Okay.
That's when it.
Alright, fuck it. I'll just open it.
That's when it fucks you. There is a strange-looking stone staircase that descends down into the ground at this
Oh,
point.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Let's go.
Is there anything else in the room? Just the staircase.
It is literally not a room. It's just like a small cave.
Oh, it's just the okay.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of the dirt is kind of filed in to kind of fill out the room. You can see that the roof above you is nothing more than just loose dirt. Just opening the door seems to have caused a bit of it to kind of trickle down and fall on you.
Yeah. Orlandis will peek his head out and just tell everyone there is a staircase here. I do not know where it goes, but it goes down.
I'll be right back. Clint heads back the way they came.
Yep.
And as he passes Balgar, he says, if anything goes wrong, I guess just make a loud noise and I'll come running. But I will be back shortly. And he heads back to
never
this room.
seen again.
He heads back to this room with the coffins.
Mhm.
and he kind of stands around, and then he pulls out his crowbar and he says, "Are you still here?"
No response.
And he goes and he taps on one of the crates with his crowbar.
Just tapping on the top.
Yeah.
Nothing happens.
And then he sticks his crowbar back in the mark he made earlier when he initially went to open it.
Place yourself where you were. I warned you, is this whisper that you hear on the back of your ear, and it will immediately catch you off guard because you were expecting it, but you're not expecting when. So go ahead and roll initiative.
Jesus.
Oh no.
Wait! Oh, no, you're not next to
so
me.
fucking far away.
Do we all roll initiative?
You can if you want to.
Okay. So I think it's 15 feet, so
Well, I
whoever's
guess I
next to
wouldn't
me.
know, so.
That's true.
I should have just used True Sight. I would have seen him.
Castia, are you taking my initiative?
I don't know that I'm rolling. I guess I should roll.
I think I'm too far away to really know what's going on.
Yeah, I don't
Funny
think
how
any
that
of us
works.
would know.
Oh, I didn't click my thing.
I mean, I'm all the way on this side.
Yeah, so
I got
that
18.
that being said, everybody is technically surprised, and it will go to Blint being surprised. If you can't be surprised, then let me know. But if you can be, that's happening, and it immediately will attempt to drain your life. So yeah, since I've got you caught off guard,
Damn.
17 hits.
Is it an attack?
Uh-huh. You got a
No.
17 AC?
Oh, I do.
So I hit.
Well, it's 18 because I had my weapons out. Well, no, actually I had a crowbar out.
Yeah.
So 17 hits, yeah.
Yep, cool. You'll be taking a total of 28 necrotic damage. So if you have necrotic resistance, take half. I don't know if vampires or dampiers do. Do they?
Nope.
No? Okay,
Nope.
so 28 necrotic damage, and roll a con saving throw.
God damn.
21.
Success. So will not go against your maximum hit point total. You feel it pulling on you, kind of draining your life away from you. Its hands kind of like become these warped, long tendrils of shadow, and it's kind of peeling your life force out of you, but you manage to kind of keep the core of yourself internalized. And its eyes flare kind of like a bright red, similar to the fireflies outside. And it says, "Flee, never return." Yeah, sorry, I forgot one thing. Let me double check something real quick. You failed by more than 4 on that save earlier. Can you roll me 5d4, please?
Jesus Christ.
I forgot about this. I'm gonna implement it here with the life drain instead, narratively.
Oh,
Nice try.
18.
Okay. So you aged 18 years when it did that horrific visage. I forgot to mention that because you failed by more than 4.
I mean, would that even matter to a Dompier? I'm
Or-
not sure how they.
I don't know how they age either off the top of my head, so just
You grow a beard.
whatever your year is, just have like a in parentheses next to it plus 18.
Okay, yep, I'll look into that.
Jesus. Oh, man.
And are generally immortal. They reach adulthood at the age of 18.
Yep,
That's it.
that's fine.
So he went from 37 to 55.
Yeah.
Old man.
He's just a young whippersnapper.
Yeah, it does what it does. It goes back around. Orlandis, I mean, you're not technically surprised. There's not much.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, there's not much of a sound of a kerfuffle. Castia, same.
Orlandis would check out the.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a bit. I'm gonna continue messing with Chad. But Chad, you have your crowbar in hand this time. It didn't make you drop it or anything with the scariness. Do you wish to engage it, or do you wish to retreat as it demanded?
action, disengage. He removes his crowbar. He moves 30 feet away. As he retreats, I will use a bonus action to use my second wind, and I will speak to it. I say, I'm sorry, I meant no disrespect. I needed to speak with you.
Yep. So what you see, you are seeing in dark vision right now, or a bit of tremor sense, but it's not really touching the ground. Do you understand what I meant by the undulations from before? It's not really touching the ground. It's kind of this ethereal floating thing, but it's causing the ground to kind of shift beneath it. But as it kind of looks at you, its shadow seems to enlarge and kind of like fill out the entirety of the room. And you see this massive hand kind of fly across the floor, darker than dark, like absolutely black against shadow, kind of pointing at you. And it says, "Flee this place." And it does nothing, but it appears to be in this kind of pointing at you, ready stance, like it's prepared to fuck with you if you don't do what it says.
Fuck. God damn it. Why is everything gotta be so goddamn disagreeable? I wish you were more like that fucking Myrmidon, you piece of shit. As Glint is backing away, he hollers down the hallway and he just says, "We're leaving!" And he says, Your tomb has a vampire problem," to the whatever the fuck this asshole is.
So
and then Glint continues leaving.
it looks like Balgar is the closest at the back, and Astrogoth probably would have heard it as well. So you two hear Glint say that for whatever reason. Glint, as you move, and we're out of combat, it's not fighting you if you're not fighting it. But if you're moving back into the tunnelway, it once you're out of sight, once you're no longer seeing it, it evaporates back into the near ethereal.
Fucking
Balgar and Astrogoth, it definitely sounds like Glint went back and was playing with fire, or a wraith. But if you two wish to telephone through to the other people and let them know Glint is focused on leaving. Cassia, you're high listener, right? Your perception's massive, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
decent enough. Yeah.
You hear, so you three would hear. And then Lose, you moved on, and you would find a staircase, and this particular one goes. Let me double check my notes.
Yeah, Glint's going all the way back to the giant skull to take a short rest.
That makes sense.
Fuck this. I mean, he's not happy about a bunch of vampires being there, but he's also not happy about being in a vampire's lair.
This one goes up.
He tried to do the right thing by talking with that ghost, and that ghost had to be a real fucking asshole about it.
Does it go up like
No, just straight up.
Oh, it just goes straight up.
Yeah, you can kind of make out what's above it. Looks like there's like a wooden level that's kind of like a wooden shelf but larger. Almost something you'd see like in a barn or something, kind of hanging about 10 feet.
Like a loft?
Yeah, like a loft. About 10 feet above where you would kind of exit out of, and the room inside has like a 20-foot high ceiling, not too dissimilar from the one you were just in. But all you can kind of make out is there's that loft right there and kind of the shadows that play above.
Do I hear anything up there?
Doesn't sound like it.
Can I sneak up there?
If you'd like.
Guessing I need to roll stealth.
I would appreciate that, yeah.
19.
And you are there. Your map should have changed.
Yes,
And just
I see a blue box.
Are you in a blue box?
Yes.
And you kind of see the loft I was mentioning?
Yes.
Okay. So bear with me
This
here.
is the door.
Bear with me here for a second.
No worries.
All right. So I'm going to cut back down to the people downstairs.
Mhm.
Orlandis, you're kind of the main person who saw the direction that Lose went off into.
Yeah.
And you said you were going to scout down the steps yourself, or are you not doing that?
I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna let Castia know. I'm going to check down here.
I think there was something happening. Oh, okay.
What? What
I-
happened?
Glint went that way, and then I heard something. I don't know if vampires got him or.
Oh, I think if they got him, they would definitely come here.
Should I be worried then?
I would go check on him, just in case. And then he would slowly check downstairs.
Okay.
Put up, shield up,
All
clear
right.
out.
So once you get down there, it's basically just a very kind of dank stone crypt, and I'm gonna not show you it yet. Bear with me. I just want to make sure, everyone else on the upside is doing what they're doing. So,
Okay.
Glint, you're continuing down the hallway, right? Chad.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. He's just gonna continue retracing his steps all the way back out of the hole to the giant skull.
Astrogoth, Balgar, and Cassia. Are you moving back through the tunnel and chasing after Glint, leaving the other two party members in their wild treks, or are you going to try and regroup with them?
Castia will look back in the past into the room with the original coffins to see if she sees Glint anywhere. I'm gonna guess at this point.
You would probably have heard him a bit as he's making his way, because he's not moving quietly. You would hear him going back down the tunnel you came through.
Glint. Listening.
Do you recall?
Yes.
Cut. People are going this way. Where are you go? Come back. Should we go that way?
I almost died, and I was told in no uncertain terms to leave.
You could leave this way.
I'd rather not.
Everybody else is leaving this way, though.
Okay, well, I don't know how many different ways I can tell you vampires are bad. And his voice is getting like fainter. Like he is still continuing to move away from you.
Well,
because I don't know if any of you can count, but that's a lot of fucking vampires.
True that.
Castia's loyalty is Orlandus and Lose from the agitators, so she will not go chasing after him, I guess.
Okay.
And you know what's worse than vampires? Denisovans.
What about Denisotvan vampires?
Denisovans are not worse than
Even
vampires.
worse.
We don't know that.
Sounds like you haven't fought a lot of Denisovans. Okay. So you said you were going down the steps, is that right?
Yes, sir. As stealthily as a man with a light on his shield can go.
This game's fun.
Boom! Night horror! Oh, God.
Why is turn orders still on my screen?
Because we're about to go back into initiative.
I got rid
Well,
of it.
one of us is.
That was really ominous.
I got rid of it, I'm sorry.
It's okay. It felt like a threat.
Oh, what time is it? 2 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah. Well,
Knight's Cavalry. In the dungeon.
that would be cool, but okay. Orlandus.
Yes.
As you come down, you see what appears to be a crypt. The stones beneath you appear to have, some of them have writing on them. The stairs are actually narrowed. As you come down to it, they kind of taper off on their sides and look like they kind of widen out if you were to have gone up. Orlandus, move. You see the map?
I see darkness.
Oh, right.
I see my token, but darkness.
Yeah, because you don't by proxy have the 2020.
Yeah. Oh, God. Is it going to be the Crypt Keeper? Oh, jeez.
You see a broken sarcophagus. It looks like it was forcibly broken open. Looks like it has a gold panel on where the head would be. And then, like I said, the stone ground around you looks like it has markings on it, like there's writings, kind of all about on the stone.
Can I read it or no?
It is in Old Jernarin, so if you can speak Old Jernarin, then yes.
Nope.
Or just Jernarin. Okay.
Nope.
So then, yeah, it definitely looks like, from your idea of it, it definitely looks like it's what are litanies or kind of a oh my god, what's the thing in the newspaper?
Obituaries.
Obituaries. There are obituaries that are kind of put onto the stones. The presumption
Okay.
is that beneath the stones there are
Bodies.
dead people. Yeah.
Okay.
That makes-
But it definitely does look like someone kind of just smashed the shit out of that sarcophagus directly north of you.
Yeah.
And I know that people watching at home are probably not having the most fun, so I'm going to flip to there, and that should make it cooler for viewing. So that's what he's seeing right now. And then as you kind of take stock of that, you're going to be kind of on that platform, and you have free reign to move around at your pleasure. You can't escape that, I don't think. Let me double check.
What?
Do what you want,
Yeah.
Jonah.
So what I meant is you can't move past the barriers. Joe is a tester of this every time he kind of gets into a space to try and kind of, I'm gonna get through that wall. Did John turn off the brake? I'm like, yo,
Sneak a peek.
yeah.
Oh no, I don't do that.
But I'm gonna move back to Elizabeth here.
Okay.
Oh, whoops, that's not right.
Oh.
Yeah, that is right. Okay, cool. So, whoosh. Okay, so yeah, that is a door. It does appear to be closed, and yeah.
All right. Does it look like someone's moved through here recently?
Yeah, it definitely looks like there's a lot of foot traffic here, and the door looks
Alright.
like it's heavily used.
Is there noises happening on the other side?
Yes, actually, as you kind of listen at the door, you hear what sounds like chanting,
Do not like that sound.
but it seems to be coming from one individual, not from multiple.
Not as bad. Is this a desk?
No. So it is more kind of just a work bench. It has some tools on it. It doesn't have like shelves on this side or anything.
Oh, okay. Uh, Alright. I think that's enough information to.
You going back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gonna
Alright.
try and convince some people to go up with me.
Okay.
Maybe.
Should be back on point. And then I'm assuming the Castia, Astrogoth, Balgar, Glint situation hasn't changed much in dynamic. Is that right?
Castia is, like I said, loyal to Orlandus and Lose from the Agitator, so she's not going to go sprinting off after Glint.
Okay. And the other
And
two?
I'd probably stay with the majority of the people, since I don't really know anyone too well.
And
Rather
Balgar.
be with the numbers.
Balgar. Jorg, are you muted? Are you dead?
Belgar.
I think he died.
Don't be dead.
Damn.
No dying.
He got scared.
Shit.
Oh no.
Revivify.
I don't have diamonds, man.
Real life.
All right.
I have 1 diamond.
Then to Jonah.
Yep. Still in the same spot, but I'm going to tactfully check around the room, around this corner, like, or the centerpiece here. Make sure there's nothing in here.
Yeah,
Slowly make my way around.
absolutely fine. So what you would note is as you kind of make your way around, there's another sarcophagus. Definitely looks like it's been moved. There's cracks in the stone at certain points and intervals that look like they've been kind of forcibly kind of made. All look like they came from whatever. They look like they came from the same implement, some sort of hammer or bludgeon that's been kind of smashed into the stone. But yeah, it looks like there are some wooden crates, not too dissimilar from the ones that you saw in the Honored Dead chamber. The wax on these looks like it's already been broken.
Yeah, that's fine. Still not fucking with it. I'm gonna keep going. See if
Okay.
there's anything
A
around
pot.
here.
There's a pot that looks like the pot's upstairs, except there is no lid.
Okay.
And in the corner, you can see like a small little standing stone that has similar markings on it. There was one on the north corner as well.
Okay.
Another sarcophagus, and this one is not broken open either, but it looks like there was an effort made at it.
Got you. Okay. So I'm just gonna keep going. And there's no doorways or anything down here.
You can make an
No crack stone.
Make an investigation check if you'd like, as you're seeking that out.
16.
Doesn't appear to be any. Excuse me. It doesn't appear to be any means of getting out of here besides the way you came in.
Okay. So then, yeah, I will go upstairs again and rejoin the rest of the party.
Okay. Hold on a second here. That was weird.
What at the staircase, man?
Because I'm trying to delete you, and my dum-dum was on the wrong level.
Oh, God!
You tried deleting the stairs? No. It's like
Well,
Sims all over again.
I almost did. Okay,
It was
so
my fault.
Lose and Orlandis, you kind of come back into the main chamber at about the same time, as Lose is faster than Orlandis. So much of the difference. The two of you kind of see each other and acknowledge one another as you come back from your recons. And then you see Cassia kind of returning back into the room, looking to see where you two are at. And so far as to say, the only space in this area that you have not checked is the northeastern corner. You know that's like what's directly beyond it, but you don't know what's further along the path. Or
Wait, this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we checked that.
Orlandis looked, and there's a door that you haven't gone through, and there's a path that leads around to the left.
Wait, this door?
Yeah.
That's
or
the door.
this
Yep.
door?
No, that door's
The first one.
that door's
This
just a frame. That's a door with a door. Yep.
Oh, okay.
And you
There's
would note
stuff
on your side of this door, as you kind of move over close to it and look at it, it looks like there's a bar down. It looks like there are 3 locks that are like padlocks that have been applied to the door post door creation. And it also looks like the door lock itself is also in place and active. And it looks like it locks on this side. So it looks like whatever is in there, the vampires or whoever is living here said no thanks and shut that shit up.
Could be useful, could be dangerous. Because if the vampires don't like it,
We're definitely not gonna like it.
might be friend.
It's a garlic storage room.
Hey.
Do you say this?
There's an Italian in there.
I promise you this now, Zach. The thing that is beyond there is stupider than that.
High bar.
And I genuinely hope that it doesn't change your opinion of me.
Orlandis is gonna
Now we gotta
knock.
go in there.
Yeah, I know. Now I'm really curious.
Open it.
No, because we're gonna open the door and we're gonna see ourselves behind that door.
Orlandis is gonna knock on the
It's a
door.
mirror.
You knock on the door, that happens.
Nothing reacts.
No.
Okay. Alright.
Went left.
What?
Yeah, he said he was told to leave, and he kept leaving. I tried.
Good.
Wait, who told him to leave?
Probably the Spectre,
Why is he bothering him again?
because he probably fucked with one of the sarcophagi again.
Lose, looking down the passageway, you see a very large iron door, not too dissimilar from the one that Orlandis went through. However, this one does have a difference. At about eye level for a normal human person, or human-like person, there is a slit with small 3 bars inside of it that allow you to peer into the space beyond.
Oh, so it's like a cell door?
It does appear to be like a cell door, yeah.
Whoa. Let's check that out.
Can I just stand near her just in case?
It locks, but it locks on this side.
Is there anything in there?
Looking
I
inside, you
can
see a
see?
wall and kind of like that's about it. It looks like you're looking into a small chamber. On the left side, there's a large barrel, but it's kind of like this weirdly kind of rotund barrel. And then off to the right, there's something just in eyesight, but you're not sure what it is.
Like on this side?
Yeah, it's like a table or something. You're not sure.
Ah. Does it look like it might be like some sort of like living area then?
Can't say for certain.
Okay.
You can open the door though. You have the option to do that.
Oh.
Yeah, because
Open
it
it.
locks on your
Yeah.
side, so you can unlock it, go in. It is locked
Yeah.
though.
Oh. I don't have thieves' tools.
No, it's locked on your side, which means you can
Oh,
unlock
it
it.
just has like a little.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I unlock it.
You can go in, and as you do, you would see that the small little table appears to be a small little table with torture implements on it, and a very strange-looking
Jesus.
device that looks like a metal syringe with a tube coming out the back end of it from where the plunger would be pushed in. And it looks like it's stained, this kind of tube, and also the kind of placement around it with red.
Nice.
Is it?
Yes.
No. But it's nice for them, you know?
Yeah, that's the ticket.
I'm gonna pop my head around the corner.
Okay, there are a number of cell doors. They are all similar to the one that you saw. And as you kind of move up and look into them, you would see the first one, nothing. Second one, nothing. Third one, like there's bones inside. There's a chain kind of adjusted to the wall. In that one, there's like a pool of water, and the chains as mentioned. And in the last one, the token hasn't been dropped, but as you move to it, you see what looks like an old man laying inside of the space, chained by the ankle, and it looks like all of his equipment, all of his stuff has been taken. He's wearing nothing more than a loincloth. And he kind of has like despite his age, like he has a very kind of reserved look. He definitely has like he just looks like he's a smart guy. Looks like he's a very competent individual. You can see that on his back and on his neck there are kind of pretty bright like wounds. And he's kind of laying on the ground in the fetal position, kind of just quiet and unmoving.
Orlandis is gonna tap on the bars.
No response.
Chill.
Are you alive?
No
Sir?
response.
Can he... This is gonna sound horrible. Can he poke him with the blunt end of the spear?
It would be very, very hard for you to put the spear through the eye hole down at him. Because remember, it's not bars.
It's not... Okay, sorry.
It's the hole. You're both kind of like looking inside and seeing him.
I thought it was bars. My bad.
Probably shutting each other like, no, let me look.
Let me look at the old guy.
Wait, who is in there?
You had your turn. It's my turn now.
It's my turn to look at the naked old guy.
Did Glint ever say the name of his master? Like, to us? Because I know the name, I just don't know
If you
if
know
he
the
said
name,
it
it's
to
probably
us.
because he told you, yeah.
No. I just wrote down, when he said it. I don't know if he told us or
Sounds
not.
like he said it though, because you just said he said it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Make up your mind. Did he say it or not?
I don't know.
I feel like I'm pretty sure
Before
Glint has
I-
asked people in our presence about.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, yeah. Orlandis will say, Abbott. James.
No response.
If only there was somebody that could heal him from range if you want to.
Should we, maybe he's a little tired. Maybe we should get Cassia to see if she can heal him up. He looks a
Yes.
little,
Both of you make an insight check.
Alright.
Oh God, he's
I
dead.
mean, he looks fucked up, but
15.
he looks fucked up.
Yeah, he looks fucked up. Yeah, he definitely looks fucked up. That's what the two of you are basically thinking. And like the door that you entered in through, this one locks on your side, so it does look like you can unlock it without the key on this side.
So we could just, like, drag him out.
Absolutely a possibility.
Wait. Not yet. He's gonna go run and get Castia.
What?
And just leave me here, alright.
You're fine. You are strong. Strong like ox.
Do you want to,
Oh.
while he's gone, go and see if he's okay? And, like, you might be wasting your time, like, if he's dead.
Or you might be getting yourself killed, you know. He
Castia.
was a mimic. Yes?
He's a mimic.
I believe we have
Damn,
found.
they figured me out.
I believe we have found James Abbott.
Okay.
He may be on death's door. Can you heal
Oh.
him?
Yeah. Oh, sure. Wait,
And then I
is he a
take her off.
vampire?
I do not know yet.
Oh.
And then I take her all the way over there.
Oh god.
Okay, before that point, Lose, do you go in
Yeah.
and check him or not?
Oh. Yeah, sorry, I didn't know that was directed at me.
Yeah, definitely you. Yeah, do you want to?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh
So,
God.
as you kind of reach down
How many people am I healing?
and touch him, you do realize that he is warm, and he definitely does appear to be alive. There's a slight breath that kind of hits when you touch him. And the second that happens, like a shot, he moves in such a way to try and kind of leap upon you. I need you to go ahead and make either an acrobatics or athletics check against the athletics roll I made when I said that I was going. Yeah, he beats you. So what happens in the very
Jeez.
split second that you aren't really paying attention is this totally near naked man throws the chain on his ankle up in a way and kind of wraps his leg around the back of you so that the chain wraps around your neck and appears to have a sharpened rock stuck to your neck, and he's looking directly at you. His fetid breath from having been down here and eating probably nasty gruel, he says, "Who the fuck are you?" And he's just kind of like on you like a shot, kind of like strangling you a bit in this regard.
Outside.
I mean, relax. I'm Lose. I'm trying
Relax.
to rescue you.
And he kind of like takes a second, he's like, and then he kind of, and he's like, "Sorry," and he kind of pulls the chain off you, kind of drops his leg off your butt, and he's looking at you, and he kind of is still holding the sharp rock. "Who sent you?"
No one. We managed to come down here through a tunnel, and then there was a wraith, and
As you're
eh,
talking, he kind of
it's
drops
fine.
to a knee, like it seems like all of his energy was expended in that motion. Like,
Are you okay?
He's
We
kinda-
we're bringing a healer for you. You didn't look that great, and now you look
Cassia,
even more like shit.
Cassia and Orlando show up to the man who's like so confused. Like,
Why did you open the door?
I wanted to make sure that he was still alive. I can confirm that he is still alive.
he looks up at Orlandis, and he has this moment where he's like, "The hell is an Alaire doing here?"
Castia doesn't
You-
even pay attention to this conversation. She just sees that somebody is injured and runs up to do
At
some
the
cure
fact
wounds.
that at the fact that he just said my last name without me telling him, Orlandis bucks up and he looks straight in this man's eyes. You know of my home.
Yeah,
You know of my house.
it's kind of where I'm from.
He's gonna speak to him specifically in Pardon now.
Yeah,
We came here with your apprentice, Glint.
Oh, he's like a hound. Oh, thank you, Les.
Just say
He
that.
says in common, and then he kind of looks at you again, and in Parnan he replies,
Didn't Glenn run away?
"I can't believe it. And Lo says, then Glenn run away in the background, and you see like his pride in his apprentice go immediately to.
Here I was trying to build this man up, and then boom!
She said, "Nope." No claiming valor you did not earn. Absolutely not.
He got some hit points back, and then Castia will rummage through her bag to find some rations for him.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, if you feed him, he will.
Chad, look.
No, Chad.
He truly ran away.
Chad said, "Fuck this." He was muted. I don't think he knew he was muted.
No, he was. I think he was listening on Twitch.
Yeah,
Question mark?
Oh, what
That's what
happened?
it sounded. He said,
he was. He
I'll
got a
be
couple
here, but
beers.
I'm going to watch on stream so I can keep up with what's happening."
Oh,
I don't know what happened.
okay. Well, yeah.
He bet.
If you feed
Oh,
him,
there he is.
he's fed. He will eat.
Yeah.
Yeah, he.
I'm here. I've paid attention.
Okay.
We found your homie. I tried to play you up.
He
I
says.
tried.
And just
He says. You do realize that you're probably going to be caught down here if you don't make a smart move of it. Do you have a
And
method?
that's why Glint left.
Do you have a smart method to get out of here?
I mean, we have some ropes.
We're going to walk out.
I should be good for it, he says as he kind of tries
Come.
to stand up. Then he looks down. I don't suppose you have a means of getting these off of me?
Ah,
The chains?
Yeah, he's got one chain shackled on his ankle.
no say.
He's like, I mean, I guess I could get myself out of it. He looks at the sharp rock and he says, but I would rather keep the leg.
No say. Can you cut it?
I've only got a blade.
Can't Valgar make a raft out of it?
Wait. We can.
Maybe out of him.
We can. We can get.
Oh my god, he's massive.
We can get Astrogoth. He can probably unlock it.
Yeah, he's pretty good. With
Orlandus is then gonna run back all the way.
Getting your
And
steps in.
Get Astrogoth.
Yes.
Astrogoth. We need you to unchain James Abbott.
Not sure who that is, but okay.
Follow me.
Old guy in loincloth, you walk in on a prison cell and he has a shackle to him and he's kind of just surprised to see this random ragtag group of people.
Good, the vampire's here.
Looks at her confused and then looks at the bugbear. He can tell that the bugbear is not a vampire, and then he looks to Cassie and he says, Lass,
I don't even acknowledge it at this point.
Lass, that is not a vampire.
But that's what
Just-
Glenn said.
Just
He
let her
said
have
that
it.
The vampire had the.
No, Glint you must have misunderstood. Glint is a Dhampir. Right.
Castia, tell him about the dragon.
The lock
Oh.
is so
killed
simple. A roll's not required; just the tools are required, and you're able to kind of pick him out of the shackle. And he nods and like very happy that that's done.
I help him up and out.
Yeah, he seems to have a bit of spryness to him. Like looking at him, like he is old, but like he definitely has like the body of a guy who.
He's like Uncle Iroh in
yeah.
the prison, like doing push-ups
yeah.
in secret.
Yeah, it definitely looks like he is a very physically capable guy, but he does appreciate the assistance despite, because yeah, you don't have, even if you're trying to remain active, having your ankles shackled to the wall is kind of makes it a bit difficult.
Yeah.
But that said, the four of you head back, or the five of you head back with regrouping, and then start making your way back to the way you came in. Before you do, you stop at that door, and he says, "Can you help me with something? I don't think it'll matter too much, but might as well leave with a bit of a parting shot, I guess. Can you take off all of those barricades? Just open the door and leave it?
This door
Sure,
here.
why not?
Yeah, when they were holding me, I've been down here for quite a while. I think maybe more than a month. I almost got out one time, and I entered into that space, and there was a waterway. It didn't lead anywhere. I thought it might be a way to swim out, but what I found out is that it happens to be a lair of a water elemental creature. So as on a lark, I used my ritual ability to make water holy. So it's a holy water
God.
elemental.
That is why they lock it.
Damn it, John.
Interesting.
I love this guy.
It's the best thing I could think of. It definitely.
I love
So if
it.
I leave, don't be offended.
Well, thank you for letting me know how that would that I did figure that would be the case. I won't be offended, and I appreciate the time you were with us. Moving along. Moving along. So you folks are heading out. You're going to leave, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll just move us back. If you're taking the time to slowly and cautiously move back, I'll move you back to the big
We
door.
also open that door and leave it open.
Absolutely.
Let that creature of holiness deal with whatever.
It's still night, and he kind of, as you come out and about, why is it not letting me paste the guy? Oh, because it's on a different screen. I'm dumb. He's gonna be big. No, he's not. Cool. Okay, so you get out. You find Glint back towards the cave entrance. It looks like he's set up a means of escaping rope-wise with the pittons and kind of a way to climb up to the rope and then make your way up. And after a fashion, like crawling through the space, Abbott is able to kind of get a bit of a strength that he's able to pull himself up the rope without assistance. And everyone else, because of the way it's set up, is able to make it back up no problem.
Nice.
So,
Where were we camping?
in the skull.
In the skull?
Oh, in it? Okay.
Yeah.
Just put my
Nice
boy
fire pit, some blankets,
Yeah. It's a nice time.
Yeah, you definitely see a look on Abbott's face, like he's very surprised by the sight of the Titan grave, and is kind of like, focusing in on the details. And when you finally move to find Glint in the camp, because that's where you went, right, Chad? You're muted. You're muted.
Yeah, Glint was but he was keeping an eye on the tunnel.
Yeah.
So he was kind of just laying low in this area, keeping an eye on the tunnel, waiting for everybody to come back.
Presumably, Lose would be the first one up and out, and she'd probably kind of, raising her sword once she gets out to kind of like acknowledge, it's her, not anyone else. And then after a fashion, you would see everybody kind of tumbling out, and you would see a man wearing a loincloth who you recognize, your mentor.
Yeah, he immediately just is normally aloof demeanor just evaporates, and he runs over and grabs him. He says, oh my god, I've been looking everywhere for you. Are you okay?
Kind of seems like you sent them in to find me.
It's a long story. I don't really want to talk about it, but I will tell you. I'm glad you're alive. I was not expecting to find you down there.
Very fortunate. My angelic blood was able to keep me from being turned. So, unfortunately,
What now?
There looks to you just kind of disregardingly, Cassia, for a second, like as you interject, and then looks back to and says, unfortunately, they did come to have a taste for it, so they kept extracting it from me and were, I assume, planning on keeping me as some sort of bottle.
Delicacy?
Yeah.
Is that offensive?
It's accurate, so it's fine.
Yes,
Sure, it's rare.
I encountered a wraith down there. It took offense to my presence, attempted to kill me.
Well, you kept bothering it.
Well, I was attempting to gain more information about the vampires.
No, I can tell you there were 8, 7 of them now, and one of them is the creature I sought to find.
Well, once I realized the scope of the situation, I thought it best to proceed cautiously. And when that wraith nearly drained my life away,
What have I told you 1,000 times? And you always fail to remember. If you're with company, don't run off on your own.
yes, I was not anticipating that particular conversation to go as badly as it did. But it told me in no uncertain terms to leave, and so I did. And once we had stumbled upon that coven, I realized the severity of the situation, and I advised caution. But no one seemed to heed my warnings.
It wasn't a dragon.
Although
Yeah.
it
I
seems
killed a
that
dragon.
was,
Why would I be?
You've killed a dragon.
Yeah.
I watched her.
Quite a good healer as well. Seems you found yourself a solid company of associates.
Also, once you live as long as I do, and you have so many kids and grandkids, and whatever happens after that, I lose track.
You must be Lose.
Yeah.
Your reputation precedes you.
Thank you. But you kind of just stopped giving a shit.
I get
well,
it.
she did introduce herself as Lose.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. So he'd say
But,
your last name.
you know-
He would actually say your last name then at that point. Sorry.
I don't even remember.
I don't even remember what it was. Jamaica.
Jamaica.
Yeah, Jamaica. So he would actually say who your name in full because again your reputation precedes you.
Mm.
Go ahead, Chad.
Yeah, he's just gonna he's gonna basically he'll let James lean on him. He'll give him anything he wants or needs.
After the climb, after the crawl, he seems to be kind of blooded. So it seems like he's actually kind of pumped. The wounds are kind of healed over. They have been. There's a little bit of a dribble on one, probably from flexing as he was climbing, but he seems fine.
I mean, it's he's got a healing potion he's ready to give him.
He does have goosebumps. He's standing out here in the night air, cold.
Oh, we got a blanket in the chest.
The blanket's all the way in this over there in the skull. Glint immediately just takes his coat off and gives it to him.
He'll take it, and he'll kind of look to the rest of the group, not knowing, who's who, but he does give Master Blade Hatchet a kind of nod, kind of seeming to acknowledge his iconography, understanding who he might be, or at least Tan in that sense.
Yeah.
They have indeed proved to be valuable allies.
Well, good. Why were you down there? Obviously not to seek me out.
No, we were seeking a means of entrance into the barrow. We actually came here, and he kind of points out to the dead giant. He says, we came here by way of, the mines of Tarn and the sewers and tunnels beneath the city.
That's so far out.
Yes.
All the way underneath.
Yes.
Few things under there.
Quite the adventure, that one. Oozes and oh my god, the biggest carrion crawler I've ever seen.
Why were you trying to get into Enbarrow? And he kind of changes his attention from Glint, looking at Orlando's.
To kill the Lykoi.
Why?
They are partnered with the Dennis Rathven, and we believe if the Lykoi are not here, then the Dennis Rathven will be less likely to stay.
Political.
So incredibly.
You do not know or understand what they are associated with in full.
All I know is they are practicing dark magics in their castle.
They sure are. That's an understatement to be certain.
Well, especially now that we know that there's vampires.
There
Right?
are there
like-
are
The Lykoi.
Out
there
there
are
vampires?
Have you ever seen the Lykoi moving about the town?
are they truly vampires?
Who do you think captured me?
Fuck.
Honestly, I
Tabaxi
thought
vampires.
Yeah, right?
that... That's a twist.
In case you were wondering who the picture in the loading screen was.
That's what cat it is.
So all we need is a laser pointer and some milk, and we can set up a nice trap.
Holy,
about a moonbeam?
Holy milk. Holy,
Holy
milk.
milk.
Well, no, whole milk.
Whole
But
milk.
yeah,
So, Mr.
Sorry,
Abbott.
hold on, pause. Gain
Oh, no, okay.
inspiration.
Sorry.
Yes,
Gain inspiration, Zach.
please. That was great.
Solid. I love that back and forth. Okay. Go ahead, Jonah. Sorry.
Oh, so, Mr. Abbott,
Yes.
I don't know how far you will go, but do you think we can all kill the vampires here?
I will say that the Lord Lykoi is one of the most ferocious combatants I have dealt with. I did not beat him in single combat, and had I do not think I would have been able to deal with the other 7. The only reason that their number is no longer 8 is because of treachery on my part, as I've mentioned to your associate, or as I mentioned to you down there. But no, it would be a very hard struggle. I don't think Glint and I could handle it together. I don't know your capabilities, but if you are of a similar ilk to my associate, or slightly better, perhaps, but more than likely not.
What if we had more with us?
I don't think that would help. A lot of the spaces in there are designed in a way to allow for them to retreat, gain upper hands, ambush tactics.
Smart.
They're very capable.
Do you think they will follow the craving of your blood specifically?
We'll see. But
They may have a plan. Do you think they would willingly come out during the early morning?
no.
Do you know what a vampire is?
No.
I just learned.
I believe they... Well,
Come out
from
at
what...
night.
As Cassia says that, Abbott kind of walks over to Glint and kind of like puts his hand on his shoulder and says, "Why did the girl think that the bugbear was a vampire?"
Azeroth
I
crosses his
honestly
arms.
don't know.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna lie. I kind of encouraged it to sort of push the suspicion away from me.
More than fair. He kind of beams a smile over to Cassia, and then kind of leans to the side. So, your goal is
To be honest, I'm kind of surprised at this point. None of them ever really suspected anything.
He looks to Orlandis and says, "Your goal is to cut off the head of the Denisovran forces so that they crumble."
Yes.
Okay. Well, we can try, but it would probably be best to enter into their manor in this secreted way during the day. If they are not made aware of this means of egress into their space, and they are within their coffins during the day, we may be able to utilize that, make short work of them. However, we will only have one chance, because even though it is the daytime, that does not mean that they are barred from doing anything or having any means of defense. They are not foolish creatures, but our best chance would be during the day.
So now that I'm assuming everybody's sort of like reconvened at the skull camp.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, once everybody's kind of gathered there, Glint he'd give James a blanket. He'd give James some food. He'd offer him like his water skin, like anything he needs.
He definitely takes the time to kind of recover, to be certain, and appreciates every moment of it, but also kind of at this point sits quietly as you folks kind of go over what just happened, and I'll allow you to go ahead and do that.
Glint also has like armor and weapons, like other stuff he can sort of provide him.
Yeah, so you would know that he doesn't wear armor. That's not a thing that James Abbott does. But weaponry, armaments would be useful, and you would also know.
Is he let me solo her? Is that what you're saying? He's
No,
just running around in a loincloth with a pot on his head? Is that?
Yeah, they took his pot. No,
Dang.
he
How
wears
dare they?
he wears clothes.
Oh, okay.
He typically fights with whatever armaments that are at hand, and he actually keeps a decent amount of armaments on him for different purposes. So, you don't use a great sword in a hallway, or, you don't use a hand crossbow in an open field. You would use a bow. So, in his normal means, he's kind of armed to the teeth, but not today. Just a sharp rock.
So as they're like sort of like conversing and like swapping stories and stuff, Clint says, "Oh yeah, by the way," and he kind of like points up to the rock. He says, "I opened a chest up there, and there was a myrmidon inside. You wouldn't know anything about that, would you?"
Binders typically will hold creatures that aid them. There was a myrmidon inside of the cave, bound to a small well. So apparently these are old manufacturers of arcane artifice. I don't know why you'd want to... What kind of myrmidon did you say it was?
It was fire.
I don't know why you'd want to fire a myrmidon in a treasure chest, but...
I mean, it didn't appear hostile to me, so I didn't engage it, and it wandered off to the north.
Seems like a problem we don't have to worry about then.
My thoughts exactly.
Do we know if north is Sepulchre's Barrow?
North is
No.
to the arcane waypoint.
Okay.
Or the Waygate is what I called it.
Yeah, the Waygate.
Barrow
West
is this
west
way.
is the Barrow.
Oh, okay. So
this
that way. Okay.
Right is the quarry, south is the farm, and the tunnel leads to...
Yeah. Orlandis just keeps thinking back to Kronosoff's words in Pardon. Get off the pot.
Yep.
Glint is obviously like overjoyed to find James Abbott, not only to find him, but to find him alive. But having learned what he has learned, he's kind of upset. And he says, "James, if you intended to come here and take on a coven of vampires,
Didn't know it was a coven.
well, even if you came here in search of a single vampire, like why would you not reach out to me and bring me along?"
I was hoping distance would bar you from certain after effects.
What do you mean?
The one who created you, who do you think created him?
Oh.
There are certain pangs of pain that happen to your kind when their sires are killed. It can be so overwhelming that it causes those that they have turned to die. But farther the kindred are from the sire, the less powerful these connections are. And you were in Parnak. Far enough for me.
So I'm
Plus, it was just one vampire. I didn't think I had a problem. Unfortunately, the son of a bitch's whole family are vampires.
So I'm, for lack of a better term, descended from the Lykois.
In a vampiric sense, yes.
Interesting.
Obviously not by birth. I mean,
No, of course
that'd be
not.
weird.
Yeah, I mean, no whiskers here. Well, you don't count these.
You're like,
And they seem to have like grown like substantially like longer since everybody else in the group saw him.
yeah. But he would say, and that is why. So,
Still,
if you don't have a plan, my strategy is simple. I rest, you give me some weaponry, and we go back down there at first light, and we handle our business. Because the longer that we wait, the more of a chance that they have of finding your secret entryway into their coven.
Well, especially because we knocked out a couple of wolves there.
Won't be too hard to track.
yeah, we'll if we're gonna fight vampires, we need some magical weapons.
He wants us to go down where we just came from, or to the Sepulchre's Barrow.
So again, out of character, what he is saying is he's going to rest for a few hours.
Yeah.
And then he's going to take somebody's weaponry, and then he's going to go down there with you guys. If that's what your plan, like if you don't have a plan, that's the plan he is throwing out onto the table. At first light, we go back into the secret way, and we go in there and we
Okay.
kill some vampires. That's his suggestion. But if you
Hmm.
have a different suggestion, this would be the time to field it. Also, if you want to discuss what you've seen down there as a group, like I was trying to open that up to you to
Yeah.
kind of parlay amongst yourselves.
Yeah.
I mean, it would,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say it would certainly be better to have more people here, but it was a long trip to get to here. I don't think if we don't go now, that we'll be able to get back in that same way. And then we're just going to be starting from scratch again.
So what you're saying is time is of the essence.
I think so.
Mhm.
Okay. So John, an out of character question. How effective are silvered weapons against vampires?
Yeah, so
All right.
the creatures that you refer to as vampires come in a different variety of.
Yeah, I know there's like several different flavors.
Sure. The generic vampire, it doesn't matter regarding silver. They don't concern themselves with that. That's not a resistance or thing that overcomes them. Magical weaponry and spells work against vampires. Non-magical weaponry is resisted, and also they're because they are creatures of the night. They're also resistant to necrotic damage.
Yeah, so having some magical weapons would definitely help.
Yeah. And then you would know that they have certain vampiric weaknesses because you are a vampire hunter. This would be kind of divulged throughout the process. Forbiddance, they can't enter a place that they're not invited into. They're harmed by running water, and that means like flowing water, not like throwing water at them. That's not the same. So like they can't cross rivers, which is
Does the water elemental count?
It's not flowing water. No, it's
Okay.
its own essence.
Gotcha.
Although it moves, it's not like going from place to place. A stake through the heart is something that will destroy a vampire, but it has to be driven into them while they are incapacitated in their resting place, not just fighting them, shove it in them. Because when a vampire dies, it doesn't die. It just goes back to its where it rests, and then it recorporates its body, and then it sleeps until it's fully healed.
So we basically have to kill it in its coffin.
Yeah, so finding their lair is actually super beneficial if vampire hunting is the plan. Because sometimes you're fighting a vampire and you have no idea where they fucking live, and it's like, oh, I killed it. And then
Haha, no you didn't.
like
As they discuss this, Clint is kind of like stroking his chin, and then he leaves and he heads back up the rocks, and he comes back with the bags. Comes back with the bag of sticks and the bag of ash.
Yeah. The
And then he
only
starts pulling out sticks and carving them into stakes.
the only thing that will kill a vampire outside of its coffin is sunlight. If it is in sunlight, it takes 20 radiant damage at the start of its turn. Every turn it's in one. It has disadvantage on everything, and eventually just melts. And if it dies like that, it does not discorporate, become a gaseous form, and return back to its coffin. Make sense?
Yes. Yeah. So, like I said, Glint is carving sticks into stakes, and also the ash will be useful if they decide to turn invisible.
Can't prove.
And then a third question: this giant sword, this giant skeleton,
No, you can't wield it.
No. Does it have magical properties?
No.
Damn.
What is it made out
Just
of?
a big ass sword.
So,
Well, I was just thinking, like, if it had magical properties, Balgar could use his hammer and turn a chunk of it into a magic weapon.
fair, but no. So what you would be able to tell of the sword is that it is broken, which means that the essence of magic that was in it, more than likely, was in it when it was in its prime, has since eked out of it.
Okay, follow-up question. Can we weaponize the fireflies?
No. You can use the fireflies if you get enough of them as a light source.
That's actually pretty fucking cool.
Follow up to the follow up.
If you get a jar full of fireflies, it gives you 5 feet of bright light and 5 feet of dim light.
Okay.
It's pretty cool.
Can I use the history skill check on this giant corpse?
Did you already do that?
I did not.
Oh, I thought you did.
I don't.
He wasn't here for that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it was early. Okay, got you. Go
Oh,
ahead.
you guys already did it?
Yeah, go ahead. Well, yeah, you didn't, but go ahead and roll a history check. That's fine.
Okay.
Can I help him with that?
No. These are individuals. This would have been back in the day. So
19.
19 would tell you basically the same information that you got from that Joe got, which I'll recite
Okay.
here. It is known that there's probably only one creature who could have delivered a death blow to a Titan, and that creature is known as Isolingdar. It's one of the 9 bastards, the abominations. These are creatures that were the children of the warring triumvirate that had deific kind of powers at the beginning of time, were pulled away from the world, and during the Third Age, also known as the Grey War, returned and basically went on their own little kind of tirades throughout the world. Isolingdar marched in this region, so you would know that over what Joe knew. And you do remember Isolingdar specifically fighting the giants, the storm, cloud, death, and also titans in this region. The ones that hold the mountains to the southwest, I believe. Let me double check the map. Checking.
Do I know if Isolingdar specifically hated giants for a reason?
Yeah, it would be southwest or west of your location.
Okay.
No idea with the 19.
Okay.
You just know that for whatever reason, Isolingdar, when they started fighting in this region, specifically targeted giants, especially the high tiers of giants, the cloud, the giant, or the cloud, the storm, the death, and also the titans, which are above them. Giants are probably height-wise like smallest of giants, anywhere from like 12 foot, and then like the larger giants, the cloud, the storm, the like, are like 40 to 50 feet tall, right?
Mm-hmm.
Titans, as you can see in this image, are
Are
much,
massive.
much taller than that. Like, think colossal Titan from like Attack on Titan size. Like they're that,
Oh yeah,
they're that
that's
big.
that's massive.
And then giants are more kind of like just Titan sized.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. All right. At some point during the night while we're planning and scheming, Orlandus would say in Parnum, should our get off the pot. And then afterwards, in common, he would say, I believe we should attack these creatures in the
Okay.
stake them in through the heart.
That's one vote for let's get them.
Bastia also voted that way.
Two.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Um,
Did Leste vote as well? I missed that as well. I was probably talking.
I did not vote, but shoots. Be game.
Yeah, she's down for murder.
Moida.
Moida.
I believe Castia as a cleric should be able to create holy water.
Correct.
It's up to you whether or not you would like to spend the resources to do so. I have 25 silver pieces, and I have gold pieces, but I'm not sure if we can translate those. I also have an extra set of clothes. I have an extra set of armor. If
I'll be giving him my elvish spear.
okay, that's yeah. I've got a net. I've got some oil. Caltrops, bowel bearings. I've got a short bow. I've got hand crossbows.
He pulls out he also pulls out the glass-like shards. The ones that explode on impact.
Yep.
Maybe these will help in concaving certain chests.
Okay.
I also have 2 extra daggers. I have the silvered rapier, and I have a shield. So
Okay.
I can certainly spend a couple first level spell slots for a couple things of holy water if we have the silver for it.
As you're planning, James will say, again, I've only seen a very small amount of what they hold in this space. The most direct route was the one that I took. And so I engaged them, unfortunately, not in their lair as we passed by it, but in their foyer. So I know how the front door works. And
man, I hope that holy water elemental like causes some fucking damage while we're up here just talking to him.
I understand that they aren't alone, these creatures. It's not just them in the house. They have guards as well. I was able to dispatch a couple of their front door guards as they were just simply men. But I do believe that they might have other creatures amongst their forces. So if we do this thing and we sneak in to fight them, we might be able to escape out the way we came, but be assured, we undoubtedly will be dealing with those giving chase.
Does anybody have the ability to speak with animals?
Yeah.
I
do.
I believe didn't she? Who did?
I think now.
No, it was an animal handling check.
Oh.
It was not actually speak with
okay.
animal.
Damn.
Or nature roll, sorry.
I was gonna say we could send out a messenger pigeon.
She said hi.
So do you want me to like? Does James have like a? Does James have a preference for which weapons he would like?
No, whatever you say you don't want, just post it in the Discord and I'll add it to his character sheet.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I'll give him my regular spear then.
Sure.
Because I like my elvish spear.
Yeah, so you would see that as he's kind of like toying around with it and kind of, looking at it, he asks somebody for a knife, turns it around and starts shaving the back end of it. So it has the spear on one side and the stake
Yeah,
on the
Glint
other.
definitely has definitely has a spare dagger. I think he actually has 2, but
You'll onto that.
so.
Just again, post it in the Discord so I have it.
Yep.
And as you prepare and the night continues on, I would like for you lot to go ahead and roll 2 d20s. Wait, no, it's 2 o'clock, 1 d20. First light would be at 5-ish, so that's fair.
Anybody but God damn it, I was gonna say
Okay.
anybody but Jonah.
Well,
I got a 12.
he did fine. So
It's not bad.
the night goes by uneventfully. It comes to first light. You can see the sun rising. And at this time, he's managed to kind of equip himself and be prepared, and the group rises up inside the skull of the Titan and prepares to head back down into the tunnel and make their way back into the heart of Lykoi Manor. And that is where we'll end the session for tonight. Thanks for watching, those that did, and we will see you next time.
Fight, 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 fight.